Good morning, everybody. Our Lady Peace and Superman's Dead. I had to do that. I was obsessing about Our Lady Peace over the break, and I know no one else obsesses about Our Lady Peace, certainly now in the year 2015. But,
or we think something else when we think Our Lady Peace.
It was me and my brother-in-law. All of a sudden, we were discussing Our Lady Peace. I don't know why. And we decided we were going to get high and listen to a lot of Our Lady Peace songs and talk about the songs. We did not get high, Jim Norton.
Why?
Because I just talk a good game. We did not do it. But I've been obsessing about Our Lady Peace, so now I'm good. Now I'm good. I can move on. There you go. Do you know anything about Our Lady Peace?
Not anything. If they were literally in here, I'd say, who are these people?
Really?
Yeah.
We used to know them back in the day at AAF, me and Anthony, when we were working for the only station that really rocks. There were a whole bunch of Our Lady Peace songs that were hits. So I don't know what they're up to these days. I'm kind of embarrassed I played that. So somebody out there probably liked that song. Superman's Dead, Our Lady Peace. And when I listen to that song, I hear Stephen Lynch's voice. Did you listen to the song at all?
A little bit when I came back in.
He's got a bit of Stephen Lynch in there. And then I'm wondering what the hell happened to Stephen Lynch. Where's he been?
Didn't he moved?
To where? Back to Michigan, right?
I guess so. Why? I don't know.
But what happened to his career? Is he still doing it? He popped in here about 2 years ago. He looked great. He was singing new songs with this woman. We taped a couple of his songs. They were great.
Yeah, she was really good, too.
Really sexy and sounded great. And we've just lost touch with the guy.
I haven't heard anything about him. I'm sure he does gigs. I mean, he always sold very well.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I know.
Can you look him up? I have no idea what Stephen Lynch has been doing.
I even looked at his Twitter, and he's not even tweeting that much these days. I think the last tweet was from May or something, which is kind of strange.
What's he just doing, family stuff, I wonder?
I don't know. I mean, you know, he used to be pretty damn close to this radio show.
Yeah.
I love Stephen Lynch.
Says he was working on an album in 2011.
2011?
Yeah. Well, that came out already. We've seen him since then.
Yeah. He's just sort of dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, that's the last thing I can see.
Okay. Anyway, Stephen, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll text him. Hopefully his numbers haven't changed. Anyway, whatever. How are you, Jimmy?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going for cryotherapy today.
Oh, you're going to do it?
You're really going to do it?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Right after the show.
That went fast.
Yeah. A friend of mine texted me yesterday that she did it, and she said she loved it.
Yeah.
Or 2 days ago, whatever it was. And Rogan has been talking about it, so I'm like, I'm going to try it.
You're doing your whole body?
They don't have the one I want to go to. I think they don't have the one where your head goes in yet. Like
yeah.
They're building a new facility. Like they said by October, they'll have that.
Yeah.
So for now, I'm going to try this one today, but I would rather do the full immersion one.
So how much of your body goes into this?
Up to the neck.
Up to the neck, and it's minus 200, if I remember.
260, I think.
260 or 16 or whatever. Like it matters after 200, minus 200. You're going to be in what is it? A container? What do you call that thing?
Yeah, coffin.
Okay, yeah, an upright coffin. Because you described this thing perfectly yesterday. It's basically you're killing your body to heal it,
yeah,
and then you're getting out of there in time before you die. Yeah, that's basically what you're doing, right?
It makes your blood. I guess it shocks your body, and your body the way your body sends oxygenated blood or something.
It starts shutting down. Basically, you're shutting down your body, or starting to shut down your body to make your body go, fuck this, because your body wants to live. Thus the death rattle, if you've ever watched anyone die. Unfortunately, I did it once. And the last thing your body does is starts breathing like a motherfucker because it doesn't want to give up. It doesn't want to die. So basically what you're doing is shutting down your body and making your body work really hard to maybe pump some extra blood in there and heal some things.
That Joe would probably be better explaining. I don't know the exact. I've read a little bit about it, and some people have said it doesn't do anything. It's not FDA approved, but I've never read it where anything bad happens. You can get frostbite. You got to be careful. You got to wear gloves, I think, and socks.
Yeah.
And but I want to do it because I know it's supposed to be very good for sleep. It's supposed to be good for energy. And to me, just forcing your body to just pump blood through.
But, I mean, you have an elbow problem, so why wouldn't you start with just dipping your elbow in this thing?
You can, but it's like, I want to see what it does overall.
You're braver than me. I would just go for the elbow dip and see if it heals that a little bit or makes it feel a little better. That's cool. What time are you doing it?
I think 11:30 is my appointment.
Wow.
Going right from here to there. We'll try it. You got to do that and then cardio after something for a half hour.
Really?
Probably to keep the...
Yeah, to get your body warm again.
Maybe, yeah. To keep your fucking fingers from rotting off. But I want to just give it a shot.
Does Dr. Steve know about this? Maybe
I haven't talked to him.
Maybe we could call him and see if he knows anything about this.
I'm afraid to, because I know he's going to go, yeah, it's a load of shit.
It's a load of shit.
Oh, come on, Dr. Steve. Yeah, nah, they tried that in the 70s. It was called cryo hat making. He'll have some weird thing. I did that in college once and my mustache fell off. Give you some weird experience he's had with it. He knows everything.
It's going to freeze your fluid.
Yeah, you're going to be frozen.
Frozen in time. And I don't know if you're going to come out of it.
Don't go to the bathroom first, because what happens is urinal freezing your urethra.
Expanding the urethra, you might need a procedure.
Yeah, to fix your penis. I don't know, man. I'm doing it because I need something done. I just want to try it. I want to try something that will get my, I feel sluggish all the time. I know it's because I don't sleep. Who knows? Maybe it will help with, because Joe does the full, I saw a photo of Joe. He does it with you have to wear a mask, you have to wear a surgical mask, and you have to wear earmuffs.
Right. When
you go in the full tank. But they just didn't have that one, so.
Yeah, well, there's a reason probably. Maybe they don't trust the full tank yet in this area.
No, they're going to do it. I think so. They said they're putting one together, and
right.
Yeah, it's 240. Yeah, there's a picture of him.
Wow, Joe looks like a villain from a movie.
Yeah, he's in there. He's got a mask on.
That's evil.
But you can get
evil, Joe.
I think you can. It only locks from the inside. Like you can't get locked in.
Yeah, there's a 2-minute and 20-second clip of Joe Rogan talking about it that you just came across. Yeah. I wonder if it's worth playing. Right there. Let's just try it.
Let's go
cold here.
Have you
Joe.
ever done whole body cryotherapy?
No.
Dude, this is the shit. You gotta try this. This is the latest and greatest thing. Like, I'd heard about Kobe Bryant using it, but my friend Eddie Bravo, when he was preparing for his match against Hoyler Gracie at Metamoris, he started using it on a daily basis. And Alan Joban, one of our fighters from 10th Planet, who just fought in the UFC, his knee was hurt, and he did it twice a day, every day before his last UFC fight, and it totally fixed all the inflammation in his knee. You go into this tank, this box, it's just like it looks like a meat locker, right? There's 2 different doors. One door is where you take your clothes off and you keep your underwear on, you have earmuffs on, you wear a mask over your face, and you wear socks and slippers because the floor is fucking ridiculously cold. You have gloves on as well, and you go into this room, it's 250 degrees below zero, and you go there for 3 minutes. That's what I do. I do 3 minutes because I'm not a pussy. A lot of pussies, they get out at about 2 minutes. I don't even know if you should do 3 minutes. Probably not even a benefit of going that extra 30 seconds, but I'm a meathead, so I continue. So you go in there, you do 3 minutes, and then you get out, and I warm up. I get on an elliptical machine, and I do it for the elliptical machine for 10 minutes, get my body temperature up, then I go back in again for another 3 minutes.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's ridiculously good for inflammation, ridiculously good for any aches or pains that you might have, like muscle soreness, because your body freaks the fuck out. It feels this 250 degrees below zero, and it just goes, holy shit, and it pulls all the blood from the surface of your skin down to your core. Then, 3 minutes later, when you're out, it's enough time so you're not dying of hypothermia. You go out, and then your body goes, oh, we're okay, and whoosh, it all just rushes out. And it's been explained to me in very technical and scientific terms, all the different mechanisms that are going on in the body that are protecting you from this impending death by cold. And so when your body realizes that it's not happening, like what is the actual mechanism that causes this anti-inflammatory response? But it's way better than these ice baths that people have been taking for a long time.
Oh,
They sit in these things for 20 minutes. This is way better, and it only takes 3 minutes. It's amazing.
Wow.
So that's what. Yeah. Okay.
That's what Jimmy's doing today.
I didn't know he did it twice though. It figures. He comes out and does cardio for 10,
and then goes back in,
and then goes back in to get his body warmed up for 3. He does 6. But again, he does a lot more physical activity than I do. He's lifting kettlebells. He's an animal.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I just do a little bit of delightful lifting and working out.
Some light lifting and some stretching.
I don't need to do a Rogan workout.
Actually, Norton's he's an animal in the gym.
Lately, I've been a slug because I can't do leg
can't
lift. It drives me crazy. But I want to try that. I want to see how it goes.
It was all those pull-ups you did. I've never seen anyone do more pull-ups than Jim Norton.
Yeah, I did a bunch.
You were very good on the pull-up bar.
I enjoyed it.
It was very impressive.
People in the gym didn't like it because after each one I would yell, a 1 pull-up, a 2 pull-up, a 3 pull-ups. So I'm going to give it a shot today, and I wish they had the full immersion one though. Like I'm bummed that they only have this fucking head sticking out.
Oh, don't be bummed. Let's see what that does. I can't wait to talk to you about it tomorrow.
'Cause I'm wondering if it will help with my. Will it help with the sluggishness or the apnea? I don't know. Like, but does having the blood pushed out, like that,
Right.
does that help? Maybe it does.
Maybe short term.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe some short term help as far as the sleep goes. I don't know.
But these are fighters, dude. Doing it twice a day before these guys get ready to fight.
Yeah.
Like that's a legitimate physical activity. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I just want to, whatever. I just want to, pop lock a little bit. I just want to be healthy enough. I want to be healthy enough just to do some lifting.
We got Mike in Cleveland. He does this.
Oh, okay.
I guess Dr. Steve either is not available or doesn't know shit about this thing. So I would assume.
He's available in 30 minutes.
All right, cool. Maybe we'll go back to him. Let's go to Mike in Cleveland. Mikey.
Please.
Hey guys, so there's a couple of things that it does. So in addition to what Rogan described, it also helps, whether you're working out and everything else, it also helps upregulate what are called inflammatory cytokines and immune cytokines, which basically means the things in your body that reduce inflammation or improve immune responses are actually stimulated. And the coolest thing, Jim, that you're probably going to enjoy is it produces norepinephrine. You put your body in that flight or fright, fight or flight type of mechanism.
Right.
Where afterwards, literally 10 minutes after you get out of the chamber, I mean, you warm up instantly. 10 minutes within getting out, you will have no aches and pains. And the amazing thing is you just feel clear. You sleep better each night. It's an unbelievable thing. And that norepinephrine response is actually repeatable. So it's not like something your body gets used to. It's really, really cool. And the more often you do it, the better the response.
And you feel like that's an endorphin rush, kind of what you're talking about?
Kind of, and norepinephrine is a neurotransmitter, but it's not like an endorphin rush is very short-lived. Norepinephrine will last in your system for quite some time.
How long will this make me feel? How long will I feel the effects of like doing it once?
Doing it once, you'll feel it until the next day.
Okay.
And I mean, they're starting to use these chambers on kids with ADHD, and they're showing that it's working as well as Ritalin and Adderall in controlling, helping them maintain focus and things like that without side effects. You're going to love it. Especially, I have joint pains and things. They just go away instantly.
But do they go away just for a day or for 2 days or?
They go away for a couple days.
Okay.
Because it actually, it's not like it just kind of shrinks the inflammation. It actually down-regulates your inflammatory response. And so it's a chemical response that it causes due to the mechanism of the inflammatory cytokines being down-regulated.
Okay. Thank you very much. I want to know if there's one where my whole head can go in. Just my head.
I do one where my head's out because we don't have one locally where your head's immersed, and I understand that you'll get a little bit better norepinephrine response when your whole head's in, but believe me, you're plenty cold.
There's got to be a reason why some people are not doing the whole fucking head thing.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're worried about damage to the ears or
something,
breathing.
Maybe, yeah.
And they're also
liability issues.
Why? They're also like 3 times as expensive to build those chambers.
Oh.
Those cryogenic units that you're probably going into, Jim, they're about $40,000 plus, maintenance and nitrogen and everything else. The other ones are far more expensive.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Joe will have one in his basement in a month.
Yeah, no kidding, exactly. He will. We got Dr. Steve on the line. Dr. Steve.
Yeah. Good morning, boys.
Hi, Dr. Steve.
Hi, Dr. Steve.
Hi, how are you? A sexy morning.
How are you?
How are you?
You're good.
I'm doing cryotherapy today. I wanted to get your take on it. Don't do it. It's a killer.
Well, you see, James, when we were doing this back in the 70s, we didn't call it cryo. what we did is we just jumped in an ice lake. We did it for about 3 minutes.
Do you know, for a second I thought that was him?
Did he really?
Yes.
It starts out good.
I have one in my own home, and what I do is I use it to make a nice cryo Chardonnay. We take the juices of the person in it, and then we infuse it with the wine itself. If you'd like one, we can make one for you.
Thank you, Dr. Steve.
Yeah, send one up
He actually
there,
had me for a
Dr.
second.
Steve.
I was like, he sounds a little groggy in the morning.
Someone's saying, well, a few people are saying, I bet your penis gets really small. Pay attention to your penis when you're in there today.
Oh, I know. It's going to be awful.
It's going to be all tiny.
I'm afraid of my feet, though. I don't want to get frostbite.
No.
There's one guy that would go in with his feet, and his socks were damp. He's probably a sweaty-footed idiot. And he would get frostbite.
Have no fear. I mean, I bet you they have all that figured out for little Jimmy Norton.
Oh, I don't know.
You're not going to get frostbite. I can't wait to talk to you about it tomorrow. It's going to be very, very interesting.
8 blankets all around you.
So really quickly, yesterday, I'm in my apartment here in New York City, and I live above the Hudson River. And all of a sudden, I'm on Twitter, and some guy goes, "Hey, did you see the fighter jet and the airliner?" And he has a picture of it on Twitter. He goes, I'm north of you on the Hudson River. It's coming your way." I'm like, fuck. So I take out my camera and I wait for this thing, and it looked to me like a fighter jet escorting an airliner. And I'm like, what the fuck? Especially with, the 9/11 shit we've had in this city, and Sully landing on the Hudson. Here, if you go to okay, Jimmy's watching right now. If you go to our Twitter pages, we'll link it for you. It's on my YouTube channel. But this is when it was coming back the other way. So it's
a good view, Jesus.
So it's this airliner and a fighter jet just escorting it, and it went back and forth past my window about 3 or 4 fucking times. This is something you just do not see in New York City ever.
Yeah. And you know what that is?
What this is.
That's a plane, and the smaller plane is probably where the film crew is.
For what, though?
A movie or something. They're filming that big plane.
Obviously, it's nothing because it didn't make any news sites. But I had a lot of news people, though, when I posted that video. They all wanted to talk to me, and they wanted to use the video. And
you should have waved. You should have waved to be in the movie. Hi, I'm in the movie.
Yay, me. But I found it extremely strange. I mean, when Sully landed in the Hudson River, my wife actually saw the whole thing fucking happen. She was an eyewitness. So
really,
oh yeah. It went right by my fucking window. Below my window. It was unbelievable that day. So. I obviously in the end it's nothing because no one's talking about this. But the first time we saw it going south, it was so low, and then it went behind the buildings in Jersey City. I'm like, what? I go to my wife, that's not fucking good, because we know the flight patterns for Newark Airport and all that. When you have a view, where you could see some shit, you see the planes coming in every night, and it's the same exact pattern. So when you see something like this, you're like, all right, what the fuck is this about? And one person said that Clint Eastwood is filming a Sully movie, and maybe they're getting footage for that.
Oh,
but I still don't have an actual explanation for it. I know it's nothing, not that big of a deal, or we would be hearing about it by now.
Maybe, yeah. I wonder what it costs to get it in the middle of the afternoon. Because that's right there.
Yeah.
How much does that cost to have? Because there's got to be traffic shut down a little bit, right? Airline traffic, and no helicopters taking off.
Well, there was a Chinook that was following it for a little while, which made it more interesting. Not that the Chinook could follow it, but it was lagging behind. So I'm like, what the fuck is this?
By filming it.
What the hell's going on? So some said it's a private, maybe a private company trying to get some footage or giving some flybys for some big wigs, giving them a nice view of the city and the Statue of Liberty or whatever. So, but I never got an explanation, because people are asking me about it on Twitter this morning. But obviously, if it was something real, we would have heard about it in the paper or something. So
yeah, that probably would have made the paper.
Anyway, but that's not the big news today. The big news is our pal Superfly Jimmy Snuka. My God,
yeah,
we were on to this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He came in for his autobiography, and we asked him about this mysterious death of his was it his girlfriend or
I think his girlfriend, some girl he was dating,
or his mistress. I've seen mistress in some of these articles. And the story goes back in 1983. She died at a rest area, right?
Yeah. No, she hit her head. According to him, she hit her head there. She fell, and then she died somewhere else.
Right.
I don't know where.
In a hotel room or something?
That I don't remember.
And it's been very mysterious over the years. Happened in 83. I guess he talked about it in his autobiography. And some kind of autopsy report was looked at again. And then they decided we gotta arrest Jimmy Superfly Snuka on the death of his mysterious, his girlfriend there.
Unfortunately, we only talked to him about it for maybe a minute and a half or so. But in the beginning of, I watched I have the interview at tape, and I Dropboxed it to Paul.
Right.
In the beginning of the interview, you ask him, I mentioned it to him about, whenever I want to weasel into something like that in an interview, you can't just say to a guy who's sitting there, "So, did you kill her?" Right. You just can't do it like that, because nobody will. You want to get people where they're at least willing to answer you.
Yes.
Especially when you're sitting next to them.
Yes.
And it's Superfly Snuka. It's not exactly a fucking Harvard Law graduate.
Right.
This guy who made a living, he would do coke and jump off the top ring.
Right.
He's probably not afraid to throw a punch.
Okay.
So I said, we asked him about it. I'm like, according to the book, I said, I think I complimented him. I'm like, you covered this.
Yeah.
And I love that you covered this in the book.
Right.
Butter him up a little bit.
Nice. Very smart.
And he was like, oh. And then you from across the room said to Jimmy, what happened that day? And this is not in the video you tweeted. Hopefully we'll get this out, because I saw it.
Yeah.
And the look on his face, when you say, Jimmy, what happened that day? He's like, he knows that he now has to give some kind of an answer, because he's already committed to the fact that, I was honest. You got to talk about it, bro.
Yeah.
And I think he realized, like, fuck, man, I don't want to get into this.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's only a quick moment, but it was something that's not in the video you sent out.
I think we're popping that up on Instagram as we speak. So, and we'll have it everywhere. But yeah, we were kind of a little freaked out that day, I remember. But then I had to go goofy during that whole thing. So the video I got is stupid. I
couldn't believe you asked him. You said to him, I forgot that you said to him, how is she now?
Yeah,
what is she up to? And I couldn't believe you just said that. I'm like, I'm 6 inches from this guy.
I was just kind of going for a shock jock moment, I guess. But a lot of people saw the video overnight, and a lot of people say, man, there's so many tells in that video that he's lying. Supposedly, if you touch your nose a lot or something, that's a tell that you're uncomfortable with
not
what
if you're him,
saying.
though, because there's probably other reasons he's touching his nose.
Yeah. He's making sure it's still there after all the coke he did over the years. If he did all that coke that has been rumored.
I believe he kind of, didn't he admit that he did some of it?
Yeah. I got the video that I tweeted, and it's up on my YouTube channel, but
they have my picture on ESPN.com, but it's just a side face. You're like, who's this fucking moon-faced goose egg?
Yeah.
And it was just me.
They're using it everywhere. That's still shot.
I wish they would give credit. This is Jim Norton getting nothing out of Jimmy Snuka.
Here, let's play actually, Travis, you got the longer audio, right? It's not much longer. Eric said it might be a couple extra seconds or something.
I have a clip that Eric gave me. It's like 155.
Oh, that's longer. Yeah, let's play that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so this is from 2013. It's me, Anthony, and Jim Norton talking about Superfly Snuka and the mysterious death of his girlfriend.
And you do address, which I like in the book, the situation, obviously this very sad situation where the girl died, and you don't shy away from that. You do talk about it in the book.
I gotta be honest, brother.
What happened? You opened up. That's amazing.
What
That's
happened,
great.
Jimmy? What happened? What happened that day? It's in the
We were
book.
driving down to Allentown for the TV the next day.
Yeah.
So the girl, wanted to use the bathroom, So she got out and went to go use the bathroom, pulled over to the side. And I guess after she got done, she came back over like a stream that was there. She jumped and slipped and banged her head. And I thought she was okay. I'm waiting in the car.
Sure.
And then sure enough, I looked out and I go, my goodness, what's going on here? So, I went and got her and brought her back in the car and took off, went to Allentown and called up the ambulance, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
What are the
crazy,
odds?
man.
Freak accident, huh?
I was going nuts.
Oh, man.
What's she doing now?
What?
What happened?
Is this Opie?
What? I don't know.
She didn't make it.
She died not there though.
No,
it
no,
was,
no.
It wasn't. It wasn't there.
It was the next morning.
Next morning. Oh man,
And
that's tragic.
And were you a suspect at all?
Wow.
Did they suspect you?
I had no idea.
Well, they were asking me questions and
Yeah.
stuff like that, you know, and I had to tell them the truth.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
Yeah. Like that.
But Jimmy,
man.
Jimmy didn't talk about it for years. Because,
Right, right.
it was
Well, first of all, it's sad. It's tragic.
It's a
you know?
sad thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In this book, he just wanted to because, obviously if he doesn't address it, then everyone's going to
Right,
assume.
right,
So,
right, right,
Assume
right.
a lot of shit.
No,
Yeah,
that's
but-
good, and you've moved on. You some years have passed. You want to get that out there, sure.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Wow. He sounds extremely uncomfortable when
That
we bring
pause.
it up. That was a long pause, and then we kept going, well, what happened? What happened? Tell us, what happened?
And he knew he had to say something because he did address it in a book. It's a controlled environment,
Right.
Because everything you want to say, you can reread and edit and
Go through lawyers.
Sure, no, that's okay. You're not saying.
Let's say it this
anything.
way instead of that way. Let's drop that detail out.
Sure.
Right. But if you're being asked, then you're on the spot. And yeah, we saw a guy that day that was on the spot. And we didn't believe
one of
it.
my childhood idols, Jimmy Snuka.
We
Favorite wrestler of all time. I always joke about Bob Backlund, but I loved Snuka. I mean, he was my favorite person on the planet for years.
Yeah. Well, he's in a lot of trouble.
He's in deep water.
And I remember I was listening to a clip yesterday. How much of this clip should we play? It's long.
The first minute.
The first minute. So then Jimmy Superfly Snuka left, and I think 2 weeks later, if I got all my dates right, this is a year later. All right, so a year later, sorry. A year later, they opened up the case. So now we're talking January of 2014. So that's over a year and a half ago. So January 2014, they're like, we got to open up this case. Something's not right here. And there's a little audio of me, Anthony, and Jimmy. We didn't buy his story that day, which is pretty obvious if you listen to the first minute of this clip. Our boy, Superfly.
Okay, did I kill my girlfriend?
Gonna be arrested for murder?
Okay.
Yeah.
Murder. Okay.
What happened? What
Not
happened?
buying it was an accident. Okay.
What did he say? She was walking in a fucking a walnut fell out of the tree and killed her.
Right, killed her.
She fell over on a rock or something at a weird hotel, or rest area. What didn't he say? It was a rest area?
Yeah.
I'll implicate myself on your radio dial.
Fucking Superfly.
So what? They're opening up the case, reopening it. Since I think it happened in '83.
In 83. That's a cold case file right there,
Boy,
yo.
is that's that's 31 years ago.
When some new detective went in, pulled it off the top shelf, blew some dust off, and went, "This is the Superfly Snuka fucking shit. Let's look into this again."
Wow. So that's over a year ago. Well, that's January of 2014 is when they reopened the case. And now you fast forward another year and a half or so, and they have arrested Jimmy Superfly Snuka. But obviously we didn't really buy his story that day. The walnut line from Jimmy. Wow. That whole clip was really funny. So you got legendary.
Implicate myself
on the radio dial. Legendary pro wrestling villain Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And we love this guy. He's done our show off and on for probably, I don't know, 12, 15 years.
It's the only time I ever met him. I never did it with him before.
At NEW?
No, I
He
never
came
met
through
him.
at NEW, I believe, more than once, and
yeah,
maybe he's only done the show 2 or 3 times. Legendary pro wrestling villain Jimmy Superfly Snuka was busted in Pennsylvania on Tuesday in the 32-year-old murder of his Brooklyn girlfriend in a motel near Allentown. Snuka has been videotaping a WWF event on May 10th, 1983, and returned to his motel to find Nancy Argentino, then 23, struggling to breathe and with mucus flowing from her mouth and nose. The wrestler, known for his high-flying antics in the ring, first told a cop and 4 others that he had shoved Argentino earlier in the day and that she had hit her head, according to police interviews obtained by the Allentown Morning Call. Very different than the story he told us
bet
that day.
it was one of those things that probably killed Liam Neeson's wife. They probably had a fight. He pushed her, and that brain swelling kicks in later. What's her name? His wife, Natasha
Richardson.
Richardson.
Yeah,
and she was okay for a while.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it kicks in, and you're cooked.
You hit your noggin the wrong way, man. I mean, there's a few every year that people dying in New York City because their heads hit the curb. They just fall down, hit the curb the wrong way, and that's it. But Snuka, who was married with 4 kids at the time, quickly changed his story, insisting that all 5 had misunderstood him and that the victim had slipped and hit her head after they stopped by the roadside to urinate. She died in a hospital a day later, so that's the story he told us. Snuka, 72, was busted Tuesday morning at his home in Waterford Township, New Jersey, and charged with third-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. He was later released after posting $100,000 bail. If convicted, he faces 20 to 40 years behind bars. The DA has reopened the cold case in 2014 after the paper detailed the results of her autopsy, which labeled the case a homicide and mate abuse. The autopsy showed that Argentino died from traumatic brain injuries, and that she had dozens of cuts and bruises on her head, face, arms, back, and legs.
They probably had a volatile relationship.
Wow.
TBI, traumatic brain injury.
Snuka was the only suspect in the case, but had never been charged and insisted in his 2012 autobiography that he was innocent. Many terrible things have been written about me hurting Nancy and being responsible for her death, but they are not true, he whined. But just months before her death, Snuka was busted for beating her in a Syracuse motel. He pleaded guilty to harassment, and more serious charges were dropped. Really surprised that
they mentioned me here too, and then comedian Jim Norton were talking to him and had a chance and got nothing out of him. That's an interesting way to end the article.
Well, I think press is good press.
I'm
Jimmy.
surprised we let him go that day. I mean, we only talked to him about it for about 2 minutes.
Yeah,
that clip's about 2 minutes that we just played for you from 2013, and then the goof clip was about a minute or so, but that was after he left over a year later. I'm really surprised we didn't really dig in, because we all were looking at him like, man, something's not right here. And why did it take so long to arrest him if they had all those issues in the past?
I don't know.
1983, what, 32? 1983, what, 32 years ago?
Yeah.
They're finally, arresting him and really looking at him as the suspect in her death.
I was a high school boy at that time.
Yeah?
Eager, full of vigor in life.
And?
Yes, and I'm wearing hats and insecurity.
Oh.
That's it. I have nothing else to say.
Well, no, I have. Now, what are you?
Now I'm just an adult.
Just an adult?
Getting up there.
Yeah. Now you don't wear hats.
I don't wear hats anymore. Well, I probably should.
Are you still eager?
Cover up my thinning abomination of a hairdo.
Are you still an eager boy?
I certainly am. I'm a man boy.
You're a man boy?
You're a man boy.
I don't know if that's good.
It's scary. I was thinking like 47. Beats being dead, though.
It beats being dead, and you're going to freeze your body today, so
Yeah.
you're gonna look and feel younger.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
I was hoping it was a stroke. Why? No, I'm thinking like I would want to do the cryogenic freezing when I die. I like, why not? If Travis is looking at why, Travis won't even dignify that with turning on the audio. He just looked at me, shook his head, and went, why?
Yeah.
Because it depends on what you die of. Like, if a lot of people think I'm going to die in a tank explosion. I don't know why.
Tank explosion.
That's how people think I'm going to go.
That comes up a lot.
In high school, I was voted most likely to die in a tank explosion.
Okay, brother.
But a part of me thinks that why not? They may be able to cure it. They may be able to figure out what's wrong. I know it sounds crazy, but they may be able to figure out what's wrong with you and fix it.
I want to leave a pound of my sperm behind and just have like
That's a real mouthful.
A pound is a lot of
It's a lot of cum.
I really thought about this.
Yeah.
For the last
pound.
I want to leave a pound behind, and then it's in my will that every like 10 or 20 years someone has a new kid with my sperm, and just keeps me going.
Oh,
that
you should
way.
have said that you want all your friends to drink a toast to the Oakster.
Boy, a few of you would eagerly do that.
No, with your cum, I mean.
I know.
Oh,
and a few,
no, I wouldn't.
that's what I'm saying.
You dip it in with like a ladle to fill the eggnog cups.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Right to the tippy top.
Yeah.
Get a good one.
Oh God.
Why not, man? Why not leave some sperm laying around?
I'm sure people do.
What do you
Why
think?
a pound? Like a pound is a lot of sperm.
When you're just on a beach for 2 weeks, your mind, you really start really thinking about dumb shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of
There's
jizz.
only so much looking at the waves you could do before your mind starts thinking about stuff.
No, but you're fucking with your own kids by doing that because you don't know who's going to get the load, and all of a sudden someone gets a load, and it's technically your kid, and then your kid's got to split the inheritance.
No, I want to really spread it out.
Oh, you want to thin out the money a little bit? And
No, I want to just spread it out like every 10 or 20 years. Then somebody else,
okay.
grabs part of the pound of sperm and has a kid. there's going to be some duds in there. I mean, odds are some are going to come out looking a little funny, but it's worth a shot. Something different.
Sure it doesn't get into the wrong hands?
Well, it's got to...
Womb, you mean? How do you make sure they get in the wrong womb?
It's got to be very specific. The details of this whole thing, it's got to be very specific.
It's got to be airtight.
Airtight.
Yeah.
That's right. Somebody very responsible has to be in charge of the pound of sperm.
I'm going to try that when I die.
Yeah?
Unless it's some horrible fucking, explosion death or a shot in the fucking head.
Oh, wait, freezing yourself.
It's sickness, yeah.
So, but here's a dumb question. They wait for you to die to freeze you. So even if they can cure whatever you had, you died already. It's not like they froze you right before you died. So
but again, why not just be able to your heart stops sometimes you've technically died?
I think you're onto something. I think you got to be frozen before you officially die.
That, but they won't.
Well, that's the way to go.
I know, because then they unthaw you.
They unthaw you with the new technology. Right. Go, okay, we know from the past that this body only has an hour or two, so we got an hour or two to use this new stuff we now know to cure him.
But if they wait for you
keep his life going.
But they wait for you to die. I guess it's not like you die and then they instantly freeze you. They got to wheel you, so you're dead for
No, you got to be frozen before you die.
Right.
That's got to be the new way to do this.
Well, the spark of life, whatever that is, they'll figure out eventually how to put that back in. Unless, again, people want to believe it's some God thing where
the 22 grams
that we don't get. Yeah, whatever it is. It's just gas.
You think that's all it is?
Yes, it's just nonsense.
You're just getting rid of one big, huge fart.
Yeah,
and that's all it is.
It's all science.
It's not your soul leaving your body, like some say.
I wish it was. I wish there was something special about old Jim Norton, something deep that was going to go and live with his fucking uncles and friends who have died. It's not. I'm going to be committed to the ground, and I'm going to be fucking just eaten by worms, which will be cannibalism on their part.
But they'll be eating a very special boy.
They certainly will be. They'll all fight over my prick.
Oh, God. You think there's some maggots and worms and whatnot that go right for the prick?
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prick worms.
Prick worms. Yeah, I think you got to freeze your body.
Before.
Like a week before you die?
Or at least a day. If it's like, all right, this guy's got a day to live. Now we freeze you. Then, 20 years later, they defrost you, and then they give you whatever.
And everyone knows, okay, this body was going to die back in 2015 within an hour. Yeah. We have an hour to use all these new medicines and procedures to fucking keep this body alive a little longer so then we can maybe completely heal him.
That's right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because once you die, your body starts to decompose and shut down.
Once you die, there's other shit it does to your body, and now the future doctors they're gonna have to figure that shit out as well.
That's right.
So why not just stay with the one thing?
That's what I never understood about this.
Because they'll figure out what that stupid nugget is that makes you, and they'll figure out a way to fix that. I'm telling you. It's all we think it's this big mystery. Oh, it's all these things. It's not these intangible. It's all electrons and neutrons and science and whatever it is that makes a person tick. Yeah. I don't know what the dumb spark of life is, to quote Planet of the Apes. But we think it's God. That's what we call God, because we don't know what that thing is.
You really did quote Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I think there's a thing.
I love that movie.
Say 300 years of technology from now. You don't think they'll be able to figure out how to fucking bring back someone that died of cancer? You ever watch Game of Thrones and think, wow, they had a toothache. They were fucked.
Why would they bring back people? They would rather keep the people alive that are living at that moment.
They will, but by that point we'll be populating other moons and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll be spread out throughout if not this solar system, then somewhere else.
They're going to use all their knowledge to keep people living a lot longer, if not forever or close to ever or whatever. They're not going to dig up old graves to help those people out.
Sure they will. How much would we love to go back and grab someone from 1750 and talk to him?
Well,
especially a white guy. How did you do it?
they might dig up a few. They might dig up a few people just as a goof.
Yeah.
They're like, let's grab someone from 2015. What the hell? But they're not going to do everybody. Maybe just a few, just to maybe put it in some kind of exhibit.
Well, if they have YouTube, I figure they'll go back. Let's grab that guy. He was pretty
he seems a little special.
Let's go back. I've been YouTubing for the last 178 years, and this guy's pretty good.
I hit my head. Took 2 weeks before I almost died, according to Joe in Chicago.
Oh, no.
Wow. Vince McMahon reportedly went to Jimmy to questioning in the 80s. The Superfly
brother, she fell and hit her head. I don't know.
Oh, brother, then, we Got some coffee?
He had some big hands. When he was talking, I noticed he's a big fucking handed man.
Yes.
Yeah, he's probably had an awful temper. All roided out back then in the 80s. Fucking doing blow.
When you could do roids and blow.
There's no statute of limitations on any of that stuff, right? They can grab him now.
For murder, there's no statute. There's statute on everything, but not murder.
Yeah, obviously not, because they got him.
They got him.
It's the front page of our paper today.
Yeah,
I know, but it's not like you can get off on some sort of technicality because it was a 30-year-old crime. Or
no,
I feel like he probably pushed her around a bit.
Yeah, he got a little upset,
and probably caused her death. That's what I'm thinking today.
I wonder if they had one of those volatile drug relationships. I don't know if she did drugs or not, but like those type of things where you're arguing all the time and no one's, or maybe he was just never sober and she was trying to sober him up.
Yeah.
Like, Jimmy, you're being irrational. yeah. He's hulked in the corner behind a lamp, ready to jump on somebody.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. No, I didn't do that. He keeps thinking that she ate Bob Backlund's ass.
Yeah,
weird things.
There's probably some jealousy there, right?
You're worshipping Sergeant Slaughter's toes. All these weird accusations. No, I didn't.
Did you suck his toes?
Yeah, you sucked his toes.
Were you a junkyard dog?
Under the giant shit in your mouth. No, he didn't. That was a terrible Mexican impression, by the way. I don't do a good Snuka. That was Snuka if he was in, blood out.
Just do a little, okay. What happens if you get frozen and then start rotting? I
don't know what the cameo.
I don't think you start rotting.
I mean, that was an insult when you were a kid. You rot. That show rots.
Right. What about the woolly mammoths?
They come out of ice.
They come out of ice pretty preserved.
Really, really good shape. I mean, and if a block of ice can do that.
Right. They're just falling out of the sides of, the mountains and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not like they wake up and run around. Like, they can't bring those guys back.
No, but they're not frozen under ideal conditions either. They just stand there like retards and the fucking thing freezes them. They're like, all right, that's it.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of them got frozen at the same fucking time. What's that about, Justin?
Yeah, I don't know.
The hell happened back then that they all froze at the exact same time? They have found fields filled with these things, all frozen at the exact same time. Yes. The Joe Rogan podcast with that guy, the geologist, was amazing.
Right.
And he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast twice. Please get his name. Some of the best podcasting I've ever heard. And he talks about the woolly mammoths and how they've found these fields where there's just, I don't remember the number anymore, thousands, I think, or something like that. And they were all absolutely frozen at the exact same time. So what is that about? What happened that, back then to cause that?
I don't know the answer to that. What does he think? Mass suicide. It's a Marshall Whiteapple thing.
I forgot exactly what he said. I got to go back now and re-listen to that whole thing. What about turning your ashes into gemstones?
I heard about that too.
But what does that do?
Exactly. People could walk around with you as earrings. Who the fuck wants that?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, here's Jim. He was funny. Wow, it's a cock ring. I know.
Yeah, because people would be irresponsible with your shit. Right?
Yeah.
That's why you don't want any of your remains laying around, because eventually someone's going to get sick of your remains, and they're not gonna take them when they have to move to their new house or their new apartment. They're going to leave you in some fucking attic.
I'm sorry.
And then the new people are going to discover you, and then they're just going to get silly with your remains.
Yeah, put your fucking remains on their balls.
Right? Yeah, something dumb.
I still have Patrice's hat that I haven't. I want, but when I move out, because I am moving, I'm gonna have something made for it. I'll have a little bit more room. I didn't know where to put it. I was afraid of putting it in direct sunlight, and then it fades. Yeah, what do you do with it? With something like that?
I had a tough time bringing that hat home.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. It's here actually still. I don't know, something about that hat and Patrice really just bothered me. It was very nice of the family to give me one of his hats. I didn't toss it or anything. It's it's here and it's being taken care of.
I think Bob Kelly did that, but I'm gonna have it put in like a
glass box or something.
Nice.
Some kind
I have
display,
a great photo
right?
of me and him from Tough Crowd, which I love. I was just sitting on the couch laughing at something, which I really wish I could remember what it was, but it was. I would like to put that photo with it, but I didn't know where to put it. I was like, if I put it right here, it's gonna get fucking faded.
Right.
So
well, now that maybe you get a bigger place and you got more room for your stuff, Jimmy.
Yeah, but I want to do that.
I want to talk about theories about living forever. Jeez. Okay, let's go to Rick in North Carolina. Rick, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys,
Hey.
two points that a lot of scientists are talking about right now with living forever. There's a geneticist named Aubrey de Grey. He's got a book out that's called Ending Aging, and he believes that the first person to live to 150 years old is alive today. And he talks about theories on how we can stall aging, and it's fascinating stuff. And then the other thing that a lot of scientists are talking about is we won't keep our bodies alive. We'll just download our consciousness into a computer or some sort of neural network, and then we can live forever that way.
That's a Ray Kurzweil thing, and everyone thinks it's crazy. It's not gonna happen. But I think that too. Once they map it out right, and they know exactly what everything is and how to capture it.
You know what though? If you're claustrophobic, all of a sudden you're like, wait, I'm still alive, but I'm just kind of in this computer. Oh my God.
Yeah, that'd probably be a little overwhelming.
Oh, that would be overwhelming. How do you handle that? How do you wrap your head around that?
When you think about being in a coffin, you're like, well, I guess I'll take the computer.
Yeah, I guess.
Worst options.
But you're just staring from the computer screen at a Starbucks or something.
No, it's some guy fucking jacking, talking to his chick. Right. Like, oh, nerds. Why do I have to get this one?
Right.
Please. It's an old Dell desktop. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, why am I in this guy's computer? I could have been in any computer. You're right.
It's one of those things, like, we don't even know what a thought is. Like, what's a thought? What's a memory? Like, it just seems like this magic thing that, like, oh, there it is, it's a memory. But there's a way to probably, cause we can't comprehend going in and grabbing it. But it's got to be like a series of events that take place in your brain that are physical.
Right.
It's not this magic thing. It's chemical, of course.
It's chemical.
So there has to be a way to recreate that.
What's a thought?
Or to capture that.
Well, when I have one, I'll let you know. I mean,
oh, come on, stop. You've got plenty. I bet you've got plenty of things you'd like to talk about. I'd like to know what they are.
Did you hear my thought earlier? I want to save a pound of my sperm and spread it around.
Do you have to save them separately, or you just put them in a big jug?
I think you go big jug. You want it to be kind of impressive.
Man. But you don't usually...
You better look into that.
Yeah. And
I want the word gunk on the outside of the jar.
Hope he's gunk.
Hope he's gunk.
So is the pound.
I don't want to romanticize this. Just a big mayonnaise jar filled with a pound of my sperm.
But is pound the right unit of measurement for that kind of material? Wouldn't it be like quart or like pound is?
That's what I came up with at the beach. You want me to lie? I decided it had to be a pound. I don't know why.
It makes it sound.
I don't know why no one has actually done this and decided. You know what? I want to see how many fucking kids I could have in one lifetime. Not like the Mormons and all those people. I mean someone that's just completely out of control and keeping track. I'm up to 200 kids now. The sperm donors, I guess.
I think you would die trying to fill a 1 pound container with sperm.
Yeah,
I think you would die. I don't think you can. You would definitely dehydrate.
Yeah, I probably should have started this a long time ago.
You should have started. You don't have enough time.
You probably don't blow enough loads. I could probably do it and have one ready for you by next Thursday. Because I'm still fucking dumping a lot of loads by myself. There's a lot of napkins full of future scientists and future duds being flushed down the old bowl. Well, the Pope would not be happy with my fucking mass murder behavior.
You know how we were talking about Schindler's List yesterday?
Yes.
Can you imagine if there was a technology where that one, sperm could be read? That's the one that should have been in a womb because that was your best one. That was going to create your best kid. How cool that would be. And all of a sudden, maybe you're just whacking off somewhere and you see that one sperm. That was your opportunity to go fucking flying into a sock or something.
I know you got to try to save it.
Or try to save it like, holy fuck, there it is. Right.
You're like chasing it around the bowl, trying to capture it like a goldfish swimming around.
Something.
Like a net.
Maybe that'll happen, though. Maybe they'll have those subatomic computers they put in you, which Kaku always talks about, that they're going to try to use for fucking long space travel that can see if you're sick, and they travel in your system so they can get cancer if it's a problem or,
So maybe they can pick out that one sperm.
Yeah.
Right. I bet you we all have just that one sperm that would have created just a massive super kid. Right?
I don't know.
A highly intelligent super kid.
I'm sure I've thrown mine out long ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure I wound up in a fucking hotel somewhere on 32nd and 5th.
What? Specific. That was way too specific. Did you just come up with that, or
just a random?
Just a random.
I don't think it's random.
Just a random spot you picked, huh?
I'm going to go wander around that area later and just sort of see what I see.
Yeah.
I hope someone's listening from a hotel at 32nd and 5th. They're like, oh, God.
32nd and 5th?
Yeah, just other places.
Can we Google map 32nd and 5th?
Sure.
Sure.
And I want to know if how many kids these sperm donors end up getting that they don't know anything about for the most part.
Well, here
you think there's guys out there that went to a sperm bank, gave up their sperm, and they have hundreds of kids now that they don't know about?
Yeah. Well,
there's a movie about it, the Vince Vaughn movie.
No, I know that, but,
here's
how
a
much
real-
is that based on reality?
Here's a real scenario, because my father was in this whole industry of in vitro fertilization and stuff like that. So if you go when you're younger and donate,
So obviously he threw his good sperm out.
Yeah.
A long time
He
ago.
did.
Dowry gave it to someone else.
Here you go, something for you.
Yes.
So picture this: you give up like a lot of sperm when you're younger. Let's say you're in your 20s, you donate it, and you get paid for that, right? And then later, 10 years later, you get married, you have kids, whatever. Your kids are running around meeting people. Your son falls in love with a girl. What if that girl originated from your sperm with another couple that needed it?
Damn, is that fucking deep?
That's a real concern.
I wonder if that's actually ever happened.
I'm sure it has happened.
No, I mean where we know. I'm sure it's
I think it
happened,
has happened.
but wow.
Isn't that fucked up?
You do see people every once in a while that look like you, right?
Yeah. It's weird, right?
But how many kids do you have if you go to the sperm bank? Like,
I don't know.
You give them one load because you got to pay your cable bill, right?
Right.
How many kids does that produce?
I don't know. Then does that entire...
Does anyone know any?
How many pounds is that?
Well, you can wake my dad and ask him. But I don't
doesn't
know.
anyone work at a sperm bank that listens to the show? Like, how does that work? Is one load is how many kids they feel they could get out of that?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Does a part of that go to someone that needs it? Does that entire sample go to someone? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we could talk to Dr. Steve about that and Jimmy freezing his little body later.
Well,
later
Dr.
today.
Steve texted me back, too. He said...
oh, he did?
Yeah, he's probably getting his kids ready for school. He texted me back about cryotherapy, and he said... cryotherapy is fine as long as they don't make any outrageous claims. It probably does reduce inflammation. I'm a big fan of platelet-enriched plasma, though, which I have heard about. I think Dana had it done in Germany. It's for the...
spin your blood, right?
Yeah. And then he goes, ask Joe Rogan about it. It's never good when your doctor says, consult Joe Rogan. That's always good.
Joe Rogan's a very smart man.
He is, but you don't want your doctor referring you to Joe Rogan.
Right.
I'm going to ask Joe a question. He's like, who referred you? A doctor. He said to ask you because you have more fucking frequent flyer miles on Lufthansa. Can you tell me what happened? Because he did it in Germany.
That's like asking Joe Rogan about an MMA move, and then Joe going, yeah, but you should ask Dr. Steve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right.
Dr. Spock.
I wish I knew an MMA move, and then that would have fucking helped that along a little better.
Armbar.
I should have went armbar. I know armbar.
Yeah.
I do know that one. Dr. Steve's on 10, but we got to eat. No?
We just ask him real quick.
All right, let's do this. Dr. Steve.
Hey, guys.
Hi, buddy.
Two things. Which one you want to do first, the freezing or the sperm?
Freezing.
All right, let's go with freezing. So Jimmy's doing the freezing thing today.
Okay.
The cryotherapy, right? Cryotherapy,
Yeah.
is that how you say it?
But this one doesn't have the head freezing. Your head is exposed, which I wish it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've read quite a bit about this stuff, and it does seem to make people feel better. A lot of these places will have these explanations. Oh, we're realigning your energy meridians. Just shut the fuck up. Just say that it makes people feel better and let it go at that, and then that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It probably does decrease inflammation. We know cold does. We put ice packs on injuries and stuff. So, I would be really interested to see in Jim particularly, because you've had this problem now for several weeks, if it makes a big difference and nothing else has changed, then that would be pretty significant. So,
But I want to do the head one too, because I'm wondering if that will help with my congestion and whatever, just to remove all that inflammation a little bit.
I don't know. It is sort of counterintuitive that doing this for a couple of minutes would have long-lasting effects, but and so you would think that people, say, who live in Alaska, in the winter would have no issues with pain and in joint stuff. But there are things in medicine that are counterintuitive. So I'll be real interested to see how this works.
Yeah, they're all wrapped up in blubber, though. They're all wrapped up in blubber, fucking rubbing noses, bunch of fucking pornographic behavior up there, living in shitty igloos. Oh, Denali, we heard you.
You know, the thing, and you have tennis elbow, right?
I do, yeah.
So a couple of things that you can do for that is one, and you and I talked about this a bit, is the tennis elbow splint. Basically, it's just a wrap that takes the pressure off of the place where the ligament joins the bone at the lateral epicondyle of the elbow, or it's just basically the elbow bone, and that will help. But also, I really like this thing, and Joe Rogan turned me onto this, and I did some research on it. Is this platelet-enriched plasma?
Right.
For sports injuries, it's really gaining a lot of traction, and it's basically where they take your own blood, spin it down, take out the anti-inflammatory factors, and inject them back into the site. And sometimes that can be very effective. So
okay,
good.
But anyway,
thank you.
All right, good luck with it. Yeah, let me know how it works.
Thanks.
And then sperm donor. So you go in, right? You're a young college kid. You want to pay your cable bill, so you give them a batch.
Yep.
How many kids can you get from one batch?
Oh well, I mean, it only takes one sperm to fertilize one egg, and
well, I know that much, of course.
Well, there's 250 million sperm in each load. So, let's say you divide it up a couple of times, then you can get 5 kids out of that easy.
Wow, 250 million little guys, huh?
So
yeah, that's something.
My God.
So you give up one load to a
hard to digest
sperm bank. Maybe you get 5 kids out of it, is what you're saying.
Oh, I'd have to do some research on that. I don't know exactly how they divide up these aliquots of semen.
Aliquots of semen. Greatest name for a band ever. Aliquots of semen. What does aliquots mean? Oh, that's awesome.
Aliquots.
Well, aliquots just is a measurement of liquid.
Okay.
Nice. Jesus.
Aliquots.
I love it.
Aliquots of semen.
All right, we got eggs in front of us, so we're going to go, Dr. Steve.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Anytime.
Weird Medicine is on this channel. I don't know when.
But it's on.
It's on here somewhere.
Delightful, Dr. Steve.
We're always moving things around. We got Pete Davidson coming in a few minutes, and we got eggs, and we got Jim Norton. He's going to be doing some oddball dates starting tomorrow, I believe, right?
I'm doing Louisville for the first time, too.
Nice.
That goes on sale this morning at 10. The Laughing Derby. It's December 10, 11, and 12. It's my first time there. I've gotten a lot of requests to go there, so I'm going there. So show up or I'll never come back.
Well, yeah.
And Caroline's in 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay. And what else are we promoting? Oh, we're doing a doc show tonight.
Yep.
The documentary show is tonight. We do it like once a month, and tonight's the day at 7 o'clock on this channel. Me and Justin and Eric Stengel.
Yep.
And we're going to be talking about sugar.
Yep.
And high school football. And life without parole, and dirt bikes.
Yep.
I think I covered it, right?
That's everything.
And
now we don't have to do the show.
And we got a big guest tonight, don't we?
Yeah, Lori David.
We have 2, don't we?
We have 2 guests.
We have 2.
How did you get Lori David?
Who
the fuck is she?
She won an Oscar for Inconvenient Truth, and then she produced this movie, Fed Up. So, and we have a guy who's in that sugar film.
He's the main guy in that sugar film, right? Who gained a whole bunch of weight just eating like a regular person.
Yeah.
Because he eats very healthy and he a lot of organic food, and then he went in with the sugar. But he didn't go crazy. He was just eating basic shit.
You got the guy from the sugar film?
That's right.
Yeah, we got the guy from the sugar film.
Nothing but the best for the documentary show.
And Inconvenient Truth. That fucking Al Gore seems like a real douche.
I have a good story about him. About when he came on to he was running for president. He wanted a top 10. All the candidates would always come on. They would want to read a top 10 that we would write. And he rejected all 10 jokes minutes before the show. And I had to run down. I was surrounded by Secret Service. And I was pitching him jokes, and he was on the phone. And every joke I pitched him, he would say into the phone. He would laugh and repeat it into the phone. And then he'd look at me and say, no. And it turns out he was on the phone with his comedy writer daughter, who was approving all of his jokes. But I literally...
Comedy writer daughter? Do we even know who she is?
She wrote on Futurama at the time.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And I literally pitched about 50 jokes that he rejected. And this old Southern Secret Service guy got right in my face. He goes, Vice President, don't think you're funny. But the way he said it, I swear to you, it was, Vice President, don't think you're funny, Jew. Like, it was right in my face and angry. And
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice. What finally happened?
He pitched some jokes that were not that funny. I agreed to put some of his in if he agreed to take some of ours, and we had to run and get it. And the show had already started, and Dave had not approved this list. So Dave just sort of said, because we were out of time, let's just do it. And it was not the best list we could have done.
Yeah, well, that's what he gets. That's what Al Gore gets.
Yeah, so he looked like a dope that night, I would assume.
It was fine.
Yeah, top 10 reasons that what was his top 10 reasons
I don't
that he's
even
watched?
remember. It was like reasons I'd make a good president, reasons
Things my wife has done to help music.
All right, Pete Davidson is up next. Stay there. We just posted more video of Jimmy Superfly Snuka from, I don't know, like 2 years ago when we asked him what happened as far as the mysterious death of his girlfriend back in 1983.
He really looks shell-shocked when you ask him.
Yeah, Jimmy brought this up, and we found it. It's on my Instagram, Opie Radio. It's on the show's Instagram account. We're tweeting it out. It'll be everywhere in all the usual places. But basically, we ask Jimmy Superfly Snuka what happened, and his look. He's like kind of gulping. His eyes get kind of big. He's getting really uncomfortable. He's squirming a little bit, and it takes him it seems like a real long time, but a few seconds to really get himself together before he starts answering that question. So it's up there to check out for yourself. All right.
That face on him.
Oh, brother, I don't know.
It's like
brother.
It's like Gervais in that moment of huh?
Yeah, exactly.
White chiffon. Huh?
Yeah.
It's that moment of, oh, fuck.
Right.
He really looks busted.
I thought they were going to just let me go. It's in my book. I don't want to actually talk about it here with you guys, brother.
Yeah, he does not look happy.
What else? There's a story about Dr. Love. I want to know about that because we were talking about, donating your sperm and that supposedly there was a doctor that did just that. Do we have the story?
Yeah, we have the story.
His name's Cecil Jacobson. I want to thank somebody on Twitter who turned us on to this because I was asking, if there's one guy out there that has a whole bunch of fucking kids and has just decided to try to have as many kids as possible. And there was a doctor called Cecil Brian Jacobson, an American former fertility doctor who used his own sperm to impregnate his patients without informing them. Wow.
He was a Nobel Prize winner.
Really?
Yep.
It's not a bad load to take, ladies.
Yeah, how pissed off are the ladies?
Yeah, what else do you want? Some guy that was a doctor somewhere else or that didn't win a Nobel Prize? You want a lawyer or a doctor? Here's a Nobel Prize load.
They should pay extra for that.
Exactly. Fucking keep your legs closed. Enjoy it. Don't let it leak out.
But we all know ladies are simpletons, so they probably were thinking, oh no, my kid's a little ugly. What was that?
No, I was pointing that the...
What was that beeping, though?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh. Was it the camera? We're setting up cameras in here. I was just kidding about ladies being simpletons, by the way. At least 15 such children.
I don't know about that.
DNA tests linked Jacobson to at least 15 such children, and it has been suspected that he fathered as many as 75 children by impregnating patients with his own sperm. If he was a Nobel Prize winner, though, did any of these kids turn out to do anything with their lives?
Good question. It's a very good question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very good question.
No, but they all lie and put their cum in women who don't know it. That's the trait they inherited.
The only trait.
In 1992, Jacobson was convicted of 52 counts of mail fraud. That mail fraud will get you in the end.
MALE.
Also wire fraud and perjury. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison and had his medical license revoked. Jacobson appealed his convictions and sentence, but they were upheld by the Court of Appeals. He now lives in Provo, Utah, where he is involved in agricultural research. Really?
What do you think he's using for the agricultural research?
He figured out how to really fertilize that soil properly. Did you see Daycare Fight Club? Yes, I was reading about that in the paper today.
Yes.
Fucking disgusting. Go ahead, Ron in Jersey. Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard it out on the news this morning. These two women at Cranford Daycare Center organizing a fight club between 4 and 6 year olds. What a bunch of sick bastards.
But how bad do you want to see the videos?
It would be amazing.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
It would be kind of funny, I think. I don't know. But it is kind of sick.
it was in the paper. They're running a daycare, and they obviously were getting bored, so they decided to get the kids to fight each other. And then there's rumors that the videos went online somewhere. I haven't seen any of these videos, but they're in a bit of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
It was 4 to 6-year-olds, I believe.
Jesus.
Yeah, they said they put them up on Snapchat.
Oh, really?
That's gettable.
Fight Club for 4-year-olds. New Jersey daycare staff charged over Snapchat. Okay, Snapchat scuffles. The Snapchat arrived with an innocuous buzz, but when Erica Kenny's friends opened the cell phone app, what they saw was anything but ordinary. On the screen flashed footage of children supposedly under the care of Kenny, an employee at a New Jersey daycare center. The children in the video weren't playing, however. They were fighting one another. On Monday, New Jersey prosecutors charged Kenny and another female daycare employee with allegedly encouraging kids under their supervision to battle one another on camera. About a dozen children, boys and girls between the ages of 4 and 6, just fighting, throwing each other to the ground, hitting each other. Jesus, what's wrong with people? Most parents would be, they had to write most. Most parents would be astonished by the behavior.
Who wouldn't
Not
be?
all. Not all. Most, though. Most would. There's a couple in there that would think this is the greatest thing ever. They wrote most.
Well,
most parents.
if your kid's winning, you'd be like, all right, this is okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny at the time. Come on, if your kid was beating up the other kids, you wouldn't be a proud parent?
That's what we should do on Periscope is turn it on and just have the staff beat the shit out of each other.
I'm sure they would like that.
Yeah, we're having meetings about that.
Yeah, there you go, Ron. So they're in trouble. I want to see some of these videos. I mean, I think it's disgusting, but you kind of want to see the videos, right?
No, I don't want to see kids fighting like that. No.
Did you watch bum fights when they were hot?
I've seen a couple of those, but I don't like anything where it's like somebody in power is taking other people and going, go ahead and foot.
Right.
I don't like that at all. Then again, I watch ISIS videos, so I should shut up.
I know.
I seem to like people being burned alive, hung upside down like lambs.
Yeah, that's okay, but...
Yeah.
All right.
Not really.
Fair enough.
4 of them fucking hung on metal chains, like arms hogtied.
I can't watch that.
I shouldn't have.
I just can't
Made me
watch
hungry.
that. There you have it. I guess we made the Blaze.
Oh, yeah.
We got some friends over at the Blaze. Mike, who used to work for our radio show back in the day, he's over there doing very well, and he just DM'd me. He wrote, a lot of O's. So, you guys made the Blaze front page again.
There it is.
What is it? Jim Norton compares media coverage of 2 similar shootings, then goes off over the one thing they won't talk about. Nice. And they got audio from the radio show.
Yeah, about
a lot of shares already. This article's doing very well for the Blaze.
Yeah, it's the point about Dylan Roof and how the press, like, again, how they do talk about the fact that the shooter was black and you know, again,
yeah.
I get it. They had to mention the racial motives because he talked about them.
Right.
But it's not it's not the headline.
No.
It's not racist shooter kills 2 coworkers. It's, they just are avoiding that for some reason.
Did you see that ABC still hasn't released his 23-page, like, facts that he sent them?
Why won't they release it?
There's no reason not to. There's no criminal like trial or anything.
They really probably shouldn't be releasing these things to give the kid, but it's like the one time they don't now.
Exactly.
Is with this one because there's a lot of racial stuff in it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they put out excerpts, you know, and that's
the racial parts?
Yeah, that's where we got all that
Okay, yeah.
information. So why haven't they released the
I don't know.
Yeah, in this day and age, they usually release.
I'm glad
that
they don't,
stuff.
though. I'm actually glad they don't.
True.
It's the right thing by ABC to not do it. Because who cares what these fucking these
Are we going to learn?
vultures say?
Are we going to learn from this guy? Are we going to learn something from this guy, Jimmy? And his 23 pages of ramblings?
Just a rambling, verbose asshole. But they, you know, they're not hitting it as hard as they do with a guy like, and I keep saying Dylan Roof because he's the most recent.
Right.
But, you know, again, the kid's a nobody. He's just some fucking piece of shit. And that's the arrogance of the white media, by the way. That's really arrogant, is that they put more stock in what his thought process is than a black man who is one of the, like, why do they not put as much emphasis and thought into the motives and thoughts of black people?
Right.
That's white people doing it. That's not black people making that decision. That's a bunch of elitist white people in the press who for some reason think that the thoughts of a white man carry more weight, and are more important, or more valuable to be discussed. It's gross.
Any of that white guilt in there as well?
A tremendous amount of it. Tremendous amount of not wanting to acknowledge that black people are angry, or that there are certain black people that are angry.
Right.
You know, it's just really, really arrogant shit.
What is the first part of this article? Go to theblaze.com if you like. Comedian Jim Norton strongly criticized the U.S. media on Monday for refusing to fully acknowledge the fact that racism was one of the main motivating factors in the shocking WDBJ on-air shooting.
And by the way, I never care really why these guys did it, because their motives are irrelevant to me, because they're all mental cases.
Right.
So whatever reason they give is not the real reason, because there's a lot of racists that don't murder people.
Right.
So I really don't care. I'm just annoyed at the fact that they don't cover it on purpose, or that they gloss over it on purpose.
I wonder if they write about the fact that you want to just throw them in the river.
Hey, let them. Good, I'll stand by that. If you don't want to take your medicine, get in the river.
Get in the river. Was that the slug line? Get in the river?
Get in the river, yeah.
Get in the river.
If you want to take your medicine, I'm happy to help pay for it.
Right.
I'm happy to help pay for it.
Vester Lee Flanagan, a black man, waited until WDBJ reporter Allison Parker and cameraman Adam Ward, both white, were live on the air. We know the story here. I'm trying to get to race war, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to harp on it because it annoyed me too much, Norton said on SiriusXM's Opie and Jim Norton show. We always talk about the fucking media and how they talk about race. This black guy killed these two white co-workers, and they have mentioned the racial motives because they had to. But when Dylan Roof shot up a church, it was like this fucking 21-year-old nobody white kid, and he really was a nobody fucking piece of shit hayseed.
Sometimes I really need to improve my vocabulary. You know, when you're just talking off the cuff regularly, you don't realize what an ass you sound like. I'm 47. That's the best I can do.
You were passionate, though, Jimmy.
Doesn't matter. I should still learn to speak like an adult.
All they could talk about was why he did it, meaning Dylan Roof, of course. Norton added, this guy's one of their own. He's a member of the fucking media, and they won't talk about the main reason he did it. And he said why he did it, co-host Greg Opie Hughes interjected. He said why he was doing it again. They have mentioned it because they kind of had to. It's so obvious, but man, they are just washing over it, Norton said. Hughes noted how many media outlets are seemingly more infatuated with the fact that Flanagan wished he could have been a $2,000 a day gay escort.
Norton added that that's a lot of money to spend regardless of how endowed.
He's on the front fucking page, Hughes observed. I feel like we don't curse as much as we used to, but maybe
sometimes
I'm wrong.
In casual conversation you don't even notice it because it's not intentional.
Yeah, but not racist killer, Norton said. Not racist sicko like it is with Dylan Roof. You know it's killer.
It's killer, they keep saying. Yeah.
Right. Hughes and Norton eventually found some levity in the tragic incident and mocked Flanagan as an exhausting and annoying coworker who regularly alleged racism over innocent occurrences. I've got a complaint, Hughes joked, imitating Flanagan. I saw a watermelon. I know they put it out for me. Where do I file a complaint on the watermelon I saw in the lobby? Not much of a joke, by the way. That's actually one of his complaints.
Yeah, that was picnic.
That was one of his complaints.
Oh, that legitimately was.
Yeah, I was just going with the goofy voice, but that's exactly what happened. Supposedly there was a watermelon, I think, in the lobby, and he went right to HR or whoever and complained, going, I know they put that out for me.
Nothing worse than a narcissist who enjoys going to HR because they think everything is about them.
Yeah.
But that's all he was just another obsessed, psychotic narcissist.
Right. Hughes then found out how close to home he was when comedian Jim Florentine told him that Flanagan had apparently complained that Parker had referred to going out in the field, a common phrase used by reporters. And then it goes on, and there's a clip. So thank you to theblaze.com. Yeah. We kind of, it's a little better than being called bigots by that other asshole recently.
Yeah. But again, just another guy who didn't do his homework. Just another guy who hears one thing. We've certainly been guilty of that, too.
Oh, God, yeah. We got to admit that.
But it was his guilt-ridden language, and they bullied the black man trying. It's like, oh, you shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah,
that's not what happened. He's just a pretty fair racial talks here when black guys call it.
Yeah, that guy was just lying. I mean, that black caller, which everyone else knows is a professional troll, that was just purposely trying to get us going. You could tell the guy was holding his own. If you don't know any of the back history of that type of thing, we didn't even. Other listeners had to point out that guy calls a lot and tries to get under your skin, and it's all bullshit in general. Pete Davidson's here. Let's get him in studio,
but also,
please.
there's a call up there that can't possibly be real. Jay from North Carolina.
Jim Norton saying it's one of Jim Norton's shows is sold out.
Hey, Pete. Let's go to Jay in North Carolina.
Yeah, have you guys seen the slow motion video from the shooter's perspective on that Virginia shooting? The reason I'm asking is because there's three things that I noticed. I watched that thing like 4 or 5 times. There's three things that I noticed that stood out that didn't make any sense. One, the shooter goes step up and puts the gun out and kind of pulls back, puts it back out to shoot him. Now, when he does that, you watch the cameraman on the right-hand side. He's filming not filming the interview, but when he turns to film the interview is when the gun goes back. And look at the hand and the sleeve holding the gun. The hand is white. The sleeve is blue checkered. Didn't they say he was wearing all black? And then the third thing is when they shot the gun, I think there was like 4 or 5 shots. Not one single dimple in that girl's dress showing impact of a bullet. And she turns around and runs away.
I don't understand you people.
What do you think? What do you think?
Where are these people then? So you're basically saying it was staged and it didn't really happen. So where are the people?
Well, what purpose would they have to do that?
Well, the father comes out and says, we don't want to take guns away from people. And I'm like, what's this we shit? Didn't he say,
Sir, he said he did it. He posted a video of him doing it. He committed suicide in a car after when the police chased him.
Okay, let me ask you this. Where is, and this would be solid proof, they said that they're having a funeral, I think it's today, for the cameraman.
Yeah.
But the father conveniently said the daughter was going to be cremated and put in the river. And then there's no photo evidence of the guy that allegedly committed suicide.
Well, you know why, by the way, you know why he did it? At first he pulls the gun up, and the camera turns away, so he wants to do the shooting on live television. Exactly. He understands they're in a live shot. So he sees the camera pointing at downtown or whatever. He doesn't want to waste the shooting when the camera's not pointed. He waits until she's on camera, yeah.
Why is it nobody noticed that, though? I mean, that lady was being interviewed. He was like 4 or 5 feet away.
I'll tell you why. They probably didn't recognize him in that moment because she was focused on her interview. And the press is used to people standing around while they do those interviews. They're used to people trying to distract them and be assholes and wave. So when that happens, you're probably not even looking up. You just see a figure or something or movement. You're trained to focus on the interview and look in the camera. When you watch reporters, they're not looking all over the place. Hey, who's that guy? What's that guy?
They're focused.
They're focused
on what they're doing.
Because that's what they do. So that's probably why when there's some kind of movement, she doesn't even look up to see who it is.
All I can say is, man, if we'd had a damn attack on the media like the good old days, somebody's life might have been saved.
No, it was just a psychopath, a sociopath, a narcissist, a mental patient who did what so many other coworkers have done, and he was a racist on top.
And what website did you go to get all this?
I just did a Google search of Virginia shooters.
Let's watch. Hold on. Let's watch the shooting. Let's watch the shooting, and we'll see that if it's a white hand.
You have to watch it in slow motion.
But do you,
of course, because
okay, all right. Do you think those guys died that day?
Excuse me,
Jay. So, do you think those 2 people died that day?
I don't know. That's
come on, Jay. Somewhere logic has to come into this. Where are those people?
Where's the reporter hiding, Jay?
Well,
and how long are they going to hide for? They have to hide for the rest of their lives now?
Not really. The news, the local news said that one of either the girl or the guy, I can't remember which one, was going to be coming down to Charlotte here in North Carolina and getting a job. So maybe she'll pop up on TV.
It's not a white hand, Jay. I'm looking at it. It's not a white hand.
No.
It's not a white hand.
And what about the sleeve? Does the sleeve look black?
It's hard to see. It's hard to tell.
I'll go with it. It looks more blue in this, certainly.
But who cares?
But, I mean, he did it. And he's a light-skinned black, so.
So, wait, they orchestrate this shooting where they're going to hide two bodies, but they get the color of the jacket wrong.
Right.
Like, come on, dude, stop it. You're bored. You're just thinking of things because you like the idea of getting into a mystery. Stop avoiding life. Whatever's in your life that's annoying you.
That was the only video I saw.
I know, but you're escaping into mystery and childlike fantasy.
Hey, Ronnie McDonald.
Yeah, exactly.
What was that line again? Ronnie McDonald. This guy would enjoy Ronnie McDonald.
Through magic and fun.
Through magic and fun. You're a big fan of magic and fun.
Yeah. It is what they said it was, Jay. There's no plot.
Entertains children through magic and fun.
Entertains children through magic and fun.
There's no
Ronald
plot,
McDonald. Yes. Huh?
Cross-check with Anthony on the ballistic, and that being a Glock, if it's a 9mm or a 40 cal.
But the problem with you guys, then all of a sudden you just blow off the logic part of the whole thing. Where is the reporter? Where's the cameraman?
Yeah, no.
What the father of the reporter? Man, where did he get his acting lessons? Because man, he was pretty believable when he was, crying out for his daughter on live TV.
And also, don't you think if she did go to another place and took an on-air TV job, it would sort of blow this whole thing away? It's like, oh look, there's that girl that supposedly died.
Yeah, play it out. Where are these people?
Yeah, play it out.
And what about the woman who survived?
Here's a little known fact about the father. The father is a paid actor. He used to do.
Let me ask you a question.
There's a video clip.
Hold on. All right. Did they go to her and say, we want to fake kill you and the cameraman since your dad's an actor? Or did they go to the dad and said, do you think who came up with it and who did they approach first?
Right.
Your turn.
Shit if I know. I mean, I know he ran for political office up in Virginia and lost. And he said that he got a hold of Obama and was wanting to bring in gun control, and that was one of Obama's biggest failures, is not being able to execute proper gun control.
So you think faking his daughter, who is a professional reporter, faking her death on television, and then this guy's shooting himself in the head, they just worked it out wonderfully?
I don't know. I think
Jay, when you fall asleep at night, just before you fall asleep, you know this crazy person killed these two people on live TV. What about the third victim? Why? I mean, it doesn't make sense to keep her alive.
So this guy thinks that
because now there's a
the whole
witness.
thing's fake.
Yeah. He's called an ass.
He sounds like he would believe that. Like his voice.
You know what, Pete? There's a lot of people though. There's a lot of people like Jay. They like a good conspiracy.
Just question it.
There's nothing to question. It's right in front of you, Jay.
What about the third person? Explain that one. Why is she alive? Wouldn't it make more sense if they're going to do this whole thing that all three have to die?
Well, she's in on it because she
not die, but look like they died, and then they move all three of these people somewhere else?
No, she's the witness who can corroborate the story, right, Jay?
I don't know, possibly.
But instead of just saying, I don't know. You keep saying, I don't know. Hold on.
I don't want to sound like conspiracy theories because this
you do.
This is a pretty big conspiracy. This is textbook conspiracy theory stuff.
Jay, it's just childish. It's childish. You're daydreaming.
The thing that got me was not seeing the impact of the bullets on her and her turning around and running.
It's not the movies, Jay.
Anybody that knows anything about gun ballistics is if you get hit by a bullet and you're that small and that thin, you're going to get knocked down from the velocity and the impact.
Well, from someone who doesn't know a lot about guns, what I see is this. When I see a hand pulling a trigger and a woman's getting shot and she winds up dead, I assume that he killed her.
This goes to Pete Davidson, who's in studio. Hold a second, Jay. How do you feel about the people that say that your dad's not dead from 9/11?
Oh,
because there's people out there that say, "Look, no one died."
He's a carpenter, actually. He's working on carpets. Yeah. I just spoke to my dad. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
Does that piss you off, though?
Yeah, a little bit. Because
supposedly those planes never hit the buildings, and those people, they're somewhere else. No one knows where, but they're somewhere else.
If that didn't happen, my mom has a lot of explaining to do. Somebody, I did a phoner for some fucking stupid gig, and the guy was like, so, you made a joke on the Beaver roast that your dad died 9/11. Is that true? And I'm like, yeah. Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
Who would make that up? Like, why would you make that one up?
Yeah.
Although the people in the building, the conspiracy theory guys believe died, it's the ones in the plane they don't think died because the planes never hit the buildings.
Yeah, it was a controlled explosion.
I'm open to that discussion because I've seen those documentaries and shit, and they're pretty convincing. Some of them, like some of like
Until you
I
hear the
underst-
counter arguments.
Yeah, like I understand why you would have an opinion on that. Like
Sure.
you know, I don't hate you for believing that it could possibly be a conspiracy, but like some people just don't know how to like go about it.
But it's pretty convincing that the planes hit the building.
Yeah, I mean,
Buildings.
obviously.
But they don't want that. But that part they blow off. It's like, no, that's not obvious.
I don't know, man. People are fucking crazy.
Anything that doesn't fit the theory, they just go, I don't know. Like, we just asked, he's getting into detail. Ask Anthony Cumia about the Glock and about the ballistics. But then it's like, where's the reporter now? I don't know. Wow, you get very specific about something like the ripple in a dress if you watch it slowed down by 3,000 times. But when we ask you, what about the guy who shot himself, you breeze by that. Why aren't you as interested in that, the depth of that?
Well, how do you know he shot himself? I mean, they just tell you he did.
All right, so hold on.
They don't provide any proof.
Okay, so he's in on it.
There's no more photos. There's no autopsy photos.
Okay.
There's no nothing.
So the cops are in on it, and the coroner's in on it, who has to sign the whatever. So how many people are in on it? The police who are chasing him.
They all have to be
They
in on it.
have to be in on it.
Okay.
He's in on it, and the coroner.
Right. And the whole TV station.
Sure.
Because they're asking questions, and then someone's like, don't worry, man, you know, they're okay. You know, they're living somewhere else right now. We're doing this whole fucking thing.
Yeah, how many people are in on this one?
You got me.
Well, why don't you think about it?
Use your brain.
This is your thing, dude.
I mean, I don't even want to go with your dumb theory, but if I had to, I would go, there's probably at least 100 people in on this. The whole police department, the whole fucking TV station, and their loved ones, by the way, so probably way more than 100 just at the TV station alone. Then the killer and his family.
And doctors that said they did that they're going to cremate somebody or any type of, and again, any type of doctor, because I'm sure these people were flown to a hospital or taken to a hospital. So anyone who said they were in the hospital, now that's the ambulance techs, that's the people who work in the emergency room, that's nurses and doctors. So they actually got all these professional people, and they decided to do this because of Obama. Like, what are you, a fucking child? Come on, man, use your head.
Not really. They don't even have to know they're in on it.
Oh.
What about the drug transfers in the Vietnam War?
We're not talking about that. No.
We're not doing that deflecting shit.
I knew about it.
We're not doing that deflecting shit. Stay on topic.
Don't try to get on something that you also just read about.
Right.
Stick with this.
And what do you do for a living, Jay?
What do? I drive a truck.
Okay. You got a lot of time to yourself, so you probably think about things.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We've talked to enough truckers over the years. But you're way off on this.
There are people who think that
I might be. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying.
I don't even want to go with might be. You're way off on this.
I saw something that looked totally different to me.
And I'm not even trying to be a dick to you. I'm really not. But it's the way that. I'm not being a dick to you because you think something. It's because of when we ask you a follow-up question, you want to get into the things that will back up your theory. But then a basic question like, how crazy is it that all these people are involved? Well, where's the reporter? You don't want to speculate on that. You don't want to, you won't allow your thought process to take you through the ludicrous nature of the fact that the reporter has to be hidden now for the rest of her life, and she signed up for that, as does the camera guy.
Maybe they were forced.
You know,
Maybe they were
thing
forced.
I thought about
They didn't want to do
that.
this.
Looking at her Facebook feed, it's plausible and everything like that. You know, it goes back a while. So I don't think that was a setup. So, you know, there are things that do tell me this is real, but it was just like I said in that one moment, looking at that video in slow motion and seeing or not seeing.
Let that moment go.
Can I ask one dumb question?
You know, like impact and stuff, and I started thinking, wait a minute.
Jay, this is insulting to the reporter and cameraman's,
right?
Their lives and their memory.
Your legacy of field reporting.
Do you believe
it's insulting to them?
Do you believe that Sandy Hook happened?
Yeah. Did you try this theory out on any of your friends first? You're like, hey, you guys, I think I'm going to run with this. What do you guys think?
The FBI did say there were no shootings.
No, you dummy. You're talking about something where they talked about the amount of dead bodies per town or county, and it was registered under one town and not the other. Newtown instead of Sandy Hook. That's just semantics. there are people that are trying to like photo match the kids who were killed in Sandy Hook and say, look, they're actors and they're now in this project. It's the same argument.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's the same argument.
That's insulting.
It's crazy.
That's insulting to all those families.
Do you think people do it because it makes it less scary that there's actually terrible fucking human beings out there?
That's absolutely it.
Is that
and
what it
they're
is?
bored, and there's like a stupid childlike state of mind.
Yeah.
Like, this can't just happen. It has to be this big thing where it's controllable. It's not controllable. Sorry.
There's just terrible people out there.
Yeah.
do
That's all it
terrible
is.
things.
Maybe part of it, I don't want to believe that something like that bad could happen.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't want to sound sane for a second, but
Yeah.
That's fair enough, Jay.
And it's fun to fantasize, dude. Let's be honest. We all like to walk down that crazy road, what if, and do this. And I converse with myself all day in the house. I really do. I literally walk around talking like Chip, like Jim Norton. Like, I'm a weirdo. I get being a fucking weirdo and having conversations alone. I do understand that. But it's like when it comes down to actually talking about it with other people, for you to actually back that up and go, well, I don't know. It's like, come on, man. I know that what I'm doing alone in my house is nonsense. I know that I'm having nonsensical legal arguments that are never going to happen. I just do it to keep my brain busy.
Oh.
All right, Jay.
All right, Jay. Drive safe.
Okay. Thank you much.
I'll save you from all the Jay's an asshole phone calls. I'll let you go. But Jay's a fucking moron. Jay's a retard. Jay's an asshole. Jay, get off whatever you're smoking. Witnesses get things wrong all the time. And then we got Dave in Jersey. Why are you so quick to trust the government? Go ahead, sir.
Man, you made it sound so terrible. No, I'm just saying.
No, not really. I'm with you to a certain point. I don't trust everything the government tells me.
Yeah, I'm not saying, like, everything is a conspiracy. Like, why'd they put, double stuff in the Oreos? They're trying to kill us or some shit. But, like, it's just, I think it's a bad symptom when people provide alternate or, like, speculative theories that the first reaction is people to go, like, what the fuck are you smoking? Stop smoking crack, you fucking moron, instead of, just saying, like, well, let's consider this because the government is a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, but this isn't the government. Like, I know what you mean, but this is not the government. And that's not why I did it. I didn't go, this guy's an idiot because he had an alternate theory. It was because there was a live shooting on TV and the police chased the guy and he committed suicide and both the reporter and the cameraman are dead and they're being buried. And this guy said the hand was white and the whole thing is fake. I mean, that to me, it was like the facts.
I mean,
you do know. Yeah, you do.
Up,
You don't know certain things. This one you know. This one you 100% know.
I think not 100%. I think the only people who know 100% are the people who were there. Other than that, I mean, we were watching.
Well, technically, yes, sure, but
I disagree. We know 100% they're dead.
But
we
you
know.
You live your life long enough to know that this is what happened.
Yeah.
I think maybe I do too much acid or something. But
That's probably more likely. Yes.
Wait.
I'm a very well functioning individual. I see. When I'm on acid, I'm driving. I see a lot more people who are driving shittier, and they're sober. So
Wait, you're on acid driving right now?
No, not now. Now I'm
okay.
working. But, like, after like a couple of hours, when the trip's over, you could drive, But I see people who are most likely sober driving like they're fucking insane. So, I mean, makes you question who's insane and who's sane,
Well, those are the texters. They're way scarier than drinking and driving.
Yeah, I know, and how can they be sane?
No joke, by the way. I'm more afraid of those people just texting as they're flying down the highway.
Sucks at driving.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are insane. The whole world's going insane. But
at least when you're drunk and you're driving, you're giving it a good shot. You're focusing, you're paying attention, and you're trying your best. But when you're texting, you don't know what the fuck's going on around you.
That's true.
That is the difference.
Because, like, if I'm tripping balls, I'm like, all right, let me just make sure I don't hit any real or imaginary people.
I mean, your reflexes suck and all that, but at least you're like going, okay, I think I could do this, and you're like, you have laser focus on the road itself. These texters are just willy-nilly. They're just looking down. They're not even in their lane anymore.
Willy-nilly.
Just willy-nilly. Sorry, Pete.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's also because I have a super paranoid friend who's been thinking the zombie apocalypse is coming for like 6 years, and he has dropped off a bunch of crap in my house and never picked it up, and now I'm like afraid the government's gonna come and be like, why do you have all this shit? And I'm like, my crazy fucking friend. But
just put it in a box and wait for your friend to show back up.
It's like 10 boxes. I told my dad.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, it's like 10 boxes.
Your
of,
friend's
like,
a bum. Throw it out.
10 boxes of what?
I'm
Supplies?
fascinated by this guy.
Weapons?
Dave, what's in the boxes? Did you look?
Half of them. What's in the box?
What's-
It's like one of them was like a bunch of bulletproof vests and stuff. He came from the Marines, and I was just like trying to be nice because I felt bad for him. And I got all these boxes of shit in my basement. And it's like,
Did you go through every box?
no, because half of them unlocked. I opened one of them up, and it's just like a Marine uniform and a bunch of bulletproof vests. I'm like, oh my god.
So you could have boxes of weapons and bullets.
Well, your
and other
next
stuff.
acid trip is
Oh my
planned
god.
out.
That's a bad idea. No, it might be a great idea, but I don't know.
He's basically using you as Manhattan mini storage. He's like, yeah, I know this fucking drug addict. I could just throw my shit in his basement and not pay a storage fee.
God damn, no, but he's a way worse drug addict.
Oh, okay.
All right.
By the way, who writes
I
the
don't
jokes for Manhattan Mini Storage? I always think they're so delightful.
Oh, those signs?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's,
Yeah, some of them are like raunchy. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, all right.
yeah,
I'm
some
gonna
of
open them up, and I'll let you guys know what.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, there's these signs for Manhattan mini stores where they're like little clever jokes.
Yeah. They're like dirty Laffy Taffy jokes.
Yeah. This said Manhattan storage.
All right, Dave. Thank you. Please don't drive when you're on acid. Please don't do that.
I usually wait like 3 hours.
Oh,
yeah, that seems
perfect.
safe. 3 hours.
I got it down to a science.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Dave. Manhattan mini storage billboards. God, how do you guys know this? I don't know if I ever paid attention to one of these things.
Because they're so fucking like ridiculous.
We got one that's
that you
good?
have to see them. They're really good. I mean, for billboards, when you see them, you're like, oh, okay.
Lipo suck your closets is one of them, with a guy just holding his gut.
Yeah, I mean,
can't remember.
I give it 4 dad chuckles. You know when your dad gets like a good one? Oh, I wouldn't know. But,
wow.
Just keeping everybody awake.
Wow. Can't remember if you have carpeting. Is one of them
because it's messy. Let your personality be the reason people don't want to come to your apartment. That's a good one.
Yeah,
get all your stuff out of there. Oh, by the way, do you know who's the new SNL guy catching shit?
John.
John, yeah.
Rudnitsky. Really, really funny dude.
Catching shit
I'm
for
sure
old
he is.
tweets, I think.
Yeah, is he a stand-up?
Yeah.
Yeah, another stand-up who's just being funny on Twitter and joking around, and they're going to go through his Twitter. Why isn't... Hey, do you guys remember what Belushi used to do when he was on fucking SNL? I mean, Chris Farley, come on. Stop it. These guys are comics. They're not saints.
I'm looking at this right now. New SNL cast member. They only picked one guy.
Yeah.
One guy.
Yes.
Supposedly really funny. I don't know much about him.
Really funny. I saw his audition, and it really made me laugh really fucking hard.
Very cool. When do you guys go back? Soon, huh?
We start trickling into the office in the next week or so, but October 3rd is the first episode.
And who's the first host? Miley Cyrus, then you got Amy Schumer, and then Tracy Morgan. Those are the first 3 this year, right?
So excited.
Jesus.
I'm so pumped.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, new SNL cast member. They announced this guy yesterday, and now today they got to beat the shit out of him. New SNL cast member already taking heat for past tweets about cunts and whores. Uh-oh. Call it the Trevor Noah effect.
Yeah, but do you see the more people that are getting quote unquote caught with their the tweets are getting so much it's not even bad.
Right.
It's just so fucking ridiculous.
Well, here we go. So they're saying, call it the Trevor Noah effect. Just as the new host of The Daily Show had his Twitter history mined for controversy after Comedy Central announced he was replacing Jon Stewart. We know that. Now how do you say his last name? Rudnitsky? John Rudnitsky is now facing similar scrutiny. Gawker's Defamer blog appears to be the first out of the gate, publishing a bunch of tweets and vines SNL's new cast members should probably delete. Just one day after he got the good news. While Noah's controversial tweets mostly revolved around Jewish jokes and fat chicks, John's Twitter history contains a number of jokes that could definitely be considered misogynistic, especially when taken at face value with no comedic context. And then, you ready for the tweets? We ready for this?
Ready. Yeah.
He tweeted, if you're offended by the C word, you're probably a cunt.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny.
Yes. And then, by the way, that's not an anti-woman. What's misogynistic about that? Mm-hmm. If you're offended by the C word, unless he's saying it to a woman, but if he's just saying it, you just it's a theory. It's a damn good point too. He's right.
Anytime you hear somebody say she means well, it means she's a whore.
Sorry. I got no issue with that.
Yeah.
He also tweeted, if you have multiple Facebook profile pictures with your shirt off, then you're a douchebag. Unless you're a girl, then you're just a whore.
Yeah, he's just being obnoxious. So what? It's a comic being obnoxious, and all of a sudden the whole culture falls apart.
And then this article writes, his live commentary of various pop culture events wasn't much better.
I mean, is anybody's? Have you ever seen the shit that people say during the VMAs about people? Like, even like there'll be famous people at the VMAs shitting on the famous people that again. I'm like, don't they know each other? Like, everybody shits on people.
Nicki Minaj pretty much, imagine, she called Miley Cyrus a bitch and said, what's up, which is kind of like, in a way, a threat, like a challenge, and that's fine.
Yeah, and everybody was like, oh, she's so brave.
She's great.
Really?
Nicki's great.
That's brave. Brave with all those security guards and everybody watching. Nothing could happen.
How
That's
close
the
were you to
safest. I was fucking pretty close.
Really?
Pretty awesome. When Kanye did his speech, me and my girlfriend were watching, and we were like, oh, just get it over with already. And then, like, he started talking, and we were like, oh, this is pretty amazing.
Yes.
We were like, please don't ever stop talking.
What was the vibe in the room? Because from the video, they have those plants around the stage, the super fans that are meant to be there to have high
To
energy
keep clapping.
and clap through and just keep things going. But then I saw in the background when Kanye was talking, those people were losing their minds. But in the background, if you look closely, everyone was pretty much sitting on their hands, kind of laughing and chuckling and going, what an asshole this guy is.
Well, he didn't say a word for about, I would say
2 minutes.
About 2 to 4 minutes, right? He just
it was a
stood
long
there in
time.
silence. So I feel like everybody that wasn't in that little pit was like, all right, dude, come on, say something. And then once he started talking, everybody was like, oh, this is going to be really good.
Nice. Right.
And, like, he started with, like, I go to baseball games. Right. And then he ended with, and that's why I'm running for president in 2020. And everybody lost their shit. That might have been the coolest thing I've ever seen live. Everybody was like, yeah, all right. And like...
What do you mean they lost their shit?
And like that crazy kid in your school...
They weren't with them.
Yeah, no, people would... Because that's what... It's almost... When Kanye talks, it's almost like his whole goal is to make people not like him. Because when he got that award, everybody was giving him basically a standing ovation.
Right.
Like, we all know you say ridiculous things in the media, but like...
You deserve it
You
for your
deserve
music.
this. You're a genius at music.
And your influence.
And he took that and made people not like him within the first 3 minutes of talking. Like, it takes a special kind of asshole to do that.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's a conscious thing. I don't think it's his thing. I think he really is just a twat.
But
like when you when sometimes you just feel like you just want to bomb, and then it's for you. Like when you do stand up, and you're like, oh, I would like to just have a bad set, but I enjoy it.
Yeah,
and enjoy watching the crowd not have fun. I feel like that's what he does every single time.
But so you don't think it's narcissistic? You think he's fully aware of what he's doing?
No, I think he likes putting himself in a shitty hole that way. Like when he does something great, he could be like, and I overcame it.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but you set up that hole. Like, you're the reason why people think you're insane.
He crushed it, man.
Oh, it was great.
He fucking
dropped the mic.
He crushed it.
And that's why I'm running for president.
in
I was like,
2020.
dude, everybody was like, yeah! But like,
but the next day, everyone's like, well, why not run now? It's still well over a year away.
I don't know.
Jump in now.
I don't know.
I think he's a boring. I know people think I'm crazy because we do talk about him, but I think he's a boring guy. Like he literally says boring shit.
I love him for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I mean, his music is fantastic.
I don't know,
but
I'm too old for it. I gotta be honest with myself. I don't know if it's fantastic.
His albums, his music came up when I was like perfectly
right.
Like it definitely is pretty great to me, but him as a person is ridiculous.
Yeah, nice.
Like the whole idea of him is ridiculous.
Right. I hear you. Let's get back to the SNL guy. I want to ask you more about the VMAs after the break, but so the new cast member getting some shit for some past tweets, and this article continues. His live commentary of various pop culture events wasn't much better, and these are 3 of those tweets. I'm going to sit on this Oscar every night before I go to bed. Guy who just won for best makeup.
That's pretty classic.
All right, this guy's going to do very well on SNL.
Yeah,
Pete.
he's a funny dude.
That's just funny. Why can't people go, well, that's just funny?
Oh, no, a gay joke. How terrible. That's hilarious.
Then he also tweeted, winning team gets to gangbang Destiny's Child. And that's from the halftime show of the Super Bowl.
It's fine.
Yeah, and it's also like, it's like 3 years ago. Like, if you look at the tweets, like...
And that wasn't even true. That was just a lie. They didn't get to fuck Destiny's
No,
Child.
That was bullshit.
Whole scandal.
I was just Googling and I can't find
Not
it.
the greatest pop culture tweet, but you know he's going for a laugh.
Whenever someone
He's
gets
going for a
something
laugh.
cool, it's just a matter of time before someone tries to ruin it.
And
That's all
then this final one. One Direction is going to get gangbang Miley in every direction at the after party. She comes across a little loose, so you might want to make a joke about that.
Yeah,
right?
Well, she's
a little loosey-goosey.
A little loosey-goosey.
Oh,
Loosey-goosey.
Dude, there were times when I was at Late Show and I was tweeting on my own account, not the Late Show account, where it was implied it would be wise if I took something down.
Which one was it, you know?
Which
what did
tweet?
you tweet?
It was nothing offensive. It was nothing where it would make the show look bad. It was there was one actually that it was like right after the Avengers came out, and or Captain America came out, and I was like, man, you know, the costume doesn't look as cool as, you know, as whatever. It was a picture of me in my underpants in a Captain America t-shirt, and people had a problem with that. I mean, it was supposed to look horrible, but people were like, you know, maybe that's not the right thing that the head writer of the show should be tweeting. And I'm like, well, why?
who
We would
told
have
you
done a
that?
joke like that on the air.
Who told you that?
Someone sat me down and just said,
Who? Is it a boss? Was it a human resources?
"Oh,
Was
not
it,
human
Wasn't
resources."
Letterman.
It wasn't Dave, and I don't even know if it necessarily came from Dave, but or if it was maybe Dave shouldn't find out about this. But it was like we would have done that joke. You were like, how many times did we put like a fat guy in a costume to do something? So that's what I did on my own, and it was like, oh, I don't know. So they were going through my tweets while I was working there.
Unbelievable. The last paragraph, now they're giving us a talking to. I'm not us, our show, just people.
I hope not.
Just people in general. Listen to this. At just 25 years old, most of these jokes were made when John Rudnitsky, I'm trying to get the name right, was barely old enough to drink. And like Trevor Noah before him, their lack of inherent comedic value seems almost... Inherent comedic value seems almost as problematic as the stereotypes they espouse. Perhaps John should have deleted these posts, as Gawker suggests, but if he were going to do that, it definitely should have happened before SNL broke the news that he was joining the cast starting next month. As it stands now, he will just have to push forward and hope that he can be funnier on this show than he has been on social media.
Oh, I hope they fucking lose that lawsuit. Oh, they're the worst little nudges. You get something, and you know they just go right back through your tweets. Well, I can't contribute anything journalistically, and I don't have anything really original or interesting to say about culture or society. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find somebody's old tweets, and I'm just going to pretend I'm upset and go, well, I don't think this is appropriate. It literally is the lowest form of contribution on the level of being in the public eye, whether you're writing or anything you're doing. How dare they criticize a comic at least trying to be funny?
Yeah, that's
all you do is scroll through old tweets looking for things to go, look, you're a professional finger. You're just pointing. That's all you do.
And it's not fair because
fucking annoying.
It's not fair because they picked out 6 tweets. The average person, how many fucking tweets do you have at this point?
Thousands.
According to, looking at his Twitter page, he has just under 1,000 tweets. And they found 6. Found 6 lousy tweets.
And they're funny tweets. It makes you think, all right, this guy
But I'm
will be
sure
good
there's
on the
other
show.
tweets in there
There's
that
nothing
are
offensive.
I'm sure there's other tweets in there that are very safe that shows that he's a funny guy.
Right.
But they picked these 6 and they want to crucify him for it. What's his Twitter? John Rudnitsky. Give him some love. He's the new cast member on SNL. Congratulations to this guy. It's JONRUDNITSKY.
Yeah, they go back over my tweets sometimes. Like whenever I threaten to assassinate public figures and I say when and how I'm going to do it, all of a sudden there's an issue.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, getting back to conspiracies really fast, are there any conspiracies you kind of believe in? I was thinking about that. I don't believe in the 9/11 shit. The JFK thing for me over the years has been a little shaky.
The more I learned about JFK, the more I was convinced that it was Oswald. Would I have been with Kennedy? Would I be? Would it surprise me if I found out that Oswald worked for somebody in the government? No. Like I never said that there was people who would have had no involvement on the back end or behind the scenes.
Right.
But it just didn't happen the way conspiracy theorists say. It couldn't have.
You think it's just Oswald at this point?
They would have killed him. Like, again, not to get into it, but like literally, they say that it was all set up, and then Oswald was his puppet, and blah blah blah, and then they let him live,
right?
And then they let him get questioned by the Dallas Police Department. It's just they always fall apart in such a horrible way. It's like they're going across the bridge, and it's kind of believable, and then there's a 30-foot fucking hole in the bridge that they cannot logically cross,
right?
But they continue to plow ahead, and they just pretend they didn't fall into the river. It's like you're wrong.
Yeah. They get all wishy-washy.
It's not believing the government. I was a conspiracy guy for a long time. I believed it. So no, there's really none that are active right now that I can think of. So I can only think of JFK. I can only think of 9/11.
Did we land on the moon?
Jim Norton?
Yeah, what about the moon landing?
Yes,
of course we did.
There's a Burger King on the moon. Yes.
That was the only one I was really interested in. Like, I remember when I was younger, there was some show, or I don't know if it was like a crappy Fox special or where there was, the crisscrossing shadows and how do they know they could beam signals back to communicate? So like that was the only one that seemed like, well, it would be easier to fake it than to try to get someone up there to beat the Russians. But it goes back to
the point. You know how many people had to keep quiet?
I know.
Thousands.
I don't believe
Not one person comes forward?
But that was the only one I was open to, where it was
that's ridiculous.
But if you do think about it, it seemed like in the amount of time that they had.
Sometimes it's interesting to see what some of these whack jobs are thinking and putting their evidence together. That I find kind of fascinating in a way, but I'm not sitting there like, oh my God, holy shit.
And that they're not telling all the other evidence that goes against their theory.
That's the problem I have with them as people. That's why I dislike them. Not because
they blow
what they
off
believe,
all that stuff,
but because that the way they childlike way hide.
Right.
What was it? One conspiracy I could probably is that evidence of. I don't necessarily believe in UFOs, but I do think that that's something that the government. There's been a few instances that's kind of really hard to write off. Man.
Every time I see a documentary, I'm like, this is real.
It's hard to when airline pilots and people who really understand the way things work in the air. When they go I have no explanation for it. It's not like it's a Harrier jet hovering. Right. Because an experienced airline pilot can explain the aeronautics and all that stuff. But when they're like, no, it was just keeping pace and then shot straight up in the air and I have no explanation. And when two pilots see it, and those guys don't want to talk about it because they look like wackos.
Right.
And when you hear those transmissions, it just disappeared. We're tracking it on radar, but it's gone now. It's gone.
Oh, wow.
Those are the ones that are kind of hard to write off. So that's a conspiracy that I can kind of, I don't necessarily blow off.
And that's a fun one. It's fun to be like, maybe there is aliens.
Yeah.
And the government would cover that up. But that's something I could see them covering up because of the implications to religion and the implications to societal structures.
When I was a kid, there was a shit.
Wouldn't that make everyone behave, though, if the government came out and said, look, there are aliens, and you don't want them here because they'll destroy all of us. So maybe we should start behaving and come together as one fucking group finally.
I love aliens.
I do, too.
I love aliens.
Big fan of the aliens.
What do you think they look like?
I don't know.
Are they really tall?
I don't know.
With big eyes?
That's what I hope. I hope tall and skinny with, big eyes.
The Greys.
Yeah.
The Greys?
The Greys. It would just make me happy.
How they just giant mosquitoes? They're here to avenge all the murders.
all the murders of mosquitoes?
Yes.
But why can't they? But why do we always
What a very specific thing.
It certainly is, yes. They're here to fucking bomb the raid factory, and then they're going back to whatever shitty planet. Boo, Jim. Boo. The best I could do on short notice, folks.
But why do aliens have to be close to our size? Human beings, right?
Yeah, five fingers.
Why couldn't they be just extremely tiny,
little minuscule?
Some just
could be an amoeba.
Or they could those could just be little robots, the things that we see. They might not actually be the living creatures. They may be things that were sent out by an advanced
But you know what? If you see a crab, if you watch The Deadliest Catch...
I have,
and
3 different times.
You see a different crab.
Same girl twice.
But if you see
she must have been real good, Jimmy.
My awful straight pubes. It was like a fucking government housing for crabs. I was so humiliated.
When you watch The Deadliest Catch, they pull out those giant fucking Alaskan crabs. You're like, oh, okay, that's fine. But if we didn't know about that and a ship landed and that motherfucker crawled out, you'd be like, what the fuck is that?
Why can't they just be aliens already?
They could be, and we're
Why
like,
not?
Yeah.
And they decide, fuck these people, we're going to stay in the fucking ocean and hope they don't find us.
They navigate
and why do we
space.
make ourselves so delicious for these assholes?
They navigate space with no problem, but they just can't give up that treat in the fucking cage. My God, that was great. Looks good.
Well, they're weak too. We got to assume aliens have weaknesses as well. Hopefully,
life of a crab blows.
It really does.
Why does it blow?
You don't do anything.
You just crab along all day.
Yeah, scuttling quietly. No one gives a fuck about you.
Crab. I feel like that's what goes on in a crab's head all day. Crab foot. Crab.
When you tell someone stop being a crab, what are they referring to as far as the crab's life goes? That you're now
stop being delicious.
Yeah, you're being called a crab.
Yeah,
stop being a crab.
You're crabby. That means they want to put butter on you.
Yeah,
or is that a lobster?
What is that?
Whatever.
Are crabs and lobsters the same thing?
No, they're the same family.
Yeah, they taste kind of the same.
Yeah,
I think,
they
right?
do.
Do you think the story about SNL cast member tweets is for publicity? That's Mark in Jersey? No, because
not this kind.
It's coming from an asshole place.
It's just to be annoying.
Gawker doesn't do it for publicity. They just do it too because they like to bring people down because they have very little, if anything, to contribute on a true creative level. And if people over there had creativity, they would be somehow involved. Nobody gets involved, I don't think, at least in any kind of public writing or public life, to be just basically a shell.
Right.
You're basically a shell, or you're a bucket with just shit in it.
A crab.
Yeah, you're a crab. You collect things and you dump them. You ever see those things that they scoop up dirt with and they dump it?
The cranes?
The cranes, yes. And those big buckets, that's what you are. You're a dirt bucket. And you dump things, and then you go back into the dirt and you root around for a little more. And then you come up and you dump it. And then you go back and you root around for a little more gossip. You root around for the scoop. You root around like an asshole nit. It's a horrible non-contribution because you're not getting to the bottom. It's not like you're uncovering a gay politician who's lobbied against gay people.
Sure.
Like or this pig clerk, who I really do hope dies of a stroke. Like this woman, I'm telling you, this woman in Kentucky, I hope she dies of a fucking stroke.
They told her she has to give out the marriage licenses for the gays, and now she's saying, well, even though you're telling me I have to do this, I'm still not going to do it.
She won't do it. And they
She's
can't
tying herself to the tree?
Pretty much.
Exactly. And the tree's like, get off me, you fat pig. She's been married 4 times.
No.
That's why.
She's been married 4 times.
No.
Yeah, and she also had a baby out of wedlock. So she has kept her fucking fat legs open, right? 4 marriages, is that what it is? 4 marriages. This fucking pig
She
can't
should be
keep
the
her legs
last
closed.
person doing this.
Yeah. So I hope that she has a stroke and dies. And I hope it's a painful death.
She's fucking up the sanctity of marriage if she's been married 4 fucking times.
Yeah.
The sanctity of
Look at
marriage.
her. Just look at her. She looks like Warren Haynes, by the way.
Oh my God, that's her?
Just shut up and sing me an Allman Brothers song.
She looks like my Aunt Marge.
She is just truly, what a cranky fat cunt.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know she was married 4 times.
Oh, she's the fucking worst.
That's a 4-time champion right
Why
there.
won't you give me a gay marriage license? Soul shine! Fucking,
Nice.
Oh, I like Warren Haynes. I'd much rather fuck him than her.
Nice with the soul shine.
Thank you very much. People tell me
Nice.
I was voted in high school boy most likely to sound like Warren Haynes in the middle of a bombing rant.
God, I love soul shine. We got to play that. Maybe we'll end the show with Warren Haynes doing some soul shine.
Yeah, she's truly just the fact to defy the U.S. Supreme Court. How like the National Guard? Now, I'm not to be melodramatic, but how do they not just go in and pull this fat cunt? By the way, this is why the Blaze, when they put up things, I really need to have a better vocabulary.
Yeah, because we might be able to get on the Blaze again.
But how do they not pull this fucking slob out by her neck and just begin issuing license to U.S. citizens who are allowed to have licenses?
I would assume there's a problem.
She's an elected official.
Yeah, so how do you get rid of an elected official that won't do what she's being told to do?
The same way when they wouldn't let blacks in colleges. The same way the National Guard came down and said, once again, below the Mason-Dixon line,
right,
you're defying what the country's wishes are. So
right.
We're going to do it for you. And then you know what they did? They did nothing.
Right.
They allowed them into the school. So they should just go in there and not let her into work and then have somebody else issue those licenses.
Well, we'll see how this plays out.
I hope she goes to jail. And I know Travis said he didn't because then she's a martyr. Good. Let her be a pussy-eating martyr. You think God doesn't like gay marriage? How do you think he's going to feel about you eating box in jail? Just licking ass and pussy.
That part's not going to get on the Blaze.
Yeah, well, be A ... P *** Y.
What's the Blaze?
It's just a conservative website, more conservative than liberal, I should say.
We got a little action on the Blaze today.
Oh, nice.
Little action. We're getting a little action out there.
Yeah, they're one of the only ones that will
pay attention to us.
Yeah, we're pretty much ignored by everyone.
Getting back to this article on the SNL guy, though, obviously they had an agenda, because if they wanted to write a real article on this guy, they could show this, but also show the other tweets that were safe and funny. It's not fair to this guy.
Yeah, it's like, this is like his first thing, so he has no idea. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Are you careful now that you're an SNL cast member?
Yeah, I don't really use Twitter that much anymore, because, like...
one tweet could fuck up everything.
Everything can just fuck everything up. For no reason. Like, and it's all that whole, well, you can't tell tone. And it's like, but you know.
You know what I meant.
You know what the fuck I meant.
You can't tell tone, so what do you do when you read books?
Yeah.
How do people read books? Fucking assholes. Now we look at War of the Worlds. Remember when Orson Welles did that? And people were killing themselves or whatever, the war with Mars, whatever it was called. We look back like, oh, what assholes to believe that. So we look at that, a spoken word thing where and we're like, what dummies they were, and yet now people are getting upset at tweets.
Right.
Like, we've learned nothing in all these years.
You know the intention of these tweets. You just know. You're just lying to yourself when you try to make it into something else.
Oh, for Pete's sake, I don't know.
Let's go to break. Pete Davidson was at the VMAs. I want to get maybe a few other thoughts.
Yes. Let's go make love.
I saw at the end of the pre-show, they popped your face on there.
Yeah.
You were standing there with a microphone looking all fresh and shit.
What'd you say?
I didn't do anything. I just stood there while they said, we're going to start.
Yeah.
And I stood there.
It was
very nice.
It was the last 10 seconds. All of a sudden, I see Pete up there. I'm like, there's Pete. Right on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
You promoting anything, Pete?
Caroline's, September 24th through the 26th.
Oh, you're there the week after I am.
Please come.
So see me one week and then see Pete.
That's nice.
Why not?
I'm excited.
Both. What else you doing?
You could do both of those
Go
things.
see me on Saturday and Pete the following Saturday, and you'll be laughing on 2 Saturdays in a row. That's how I look at it.
It's the first comedy club I ever went to.
How old were you?
I was 15 and I went to see Burr.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We were probably in the audience.
Yeah.
Probably were right there. Probably sat right next to you there, Pete.
Oh, look at that, you guys.
And then a few years later, look at us all just hanging out.
Do you remember an older blonde man going psst in the restroom?
All right. We got 3 great stories when we come back, I think. Man suffering from constipation for 10 years has a 11-pound stool removed.
That's dope.
Is there a picture of it? I just want to see the picture.
That's awesome.
Pregnant woman wants to have dolphin-assisted water birth in the ocean despite risk of sharks showing up.
How great would that be if she fucking did, and he put that stupid bottlenose in her box, and the fucking kid came out and a shark grabbed it. How great would it be if a shark fucking dragged her to her death by her baby and the fucking umbilical cord? Good, that's what you get, stupid. Giving birth with a dolphin in your pussy. Cut it out. Go to the hospital.
I don't know if she wants the dolphin.
Irresponsible asshole.
Although hilarious, I don't know if she wants the dolphin in her actual
Wait, she
pussy.
wants the dolphin like in Scrubs? Like right next to her? Like,
I don't know. I'm going to find out. These are just the headlines.
Like, what do you think?
And then more of this shit. The students cover mirrors in girls' bathrooms to encourage positive body image.
Positive body image.
Want to cover the scale?
Fucking
cover the mirrors. You have because how you look doesn't matter.
Do you know how much shit I got in high school that I'm glad I got? Because I wouldn't have ever.
It made you funnier, probably.
Yeah, I would
right?
have never done stand up if I didn't get shit on all the.
What was
time.
some of the stuff they say to a guy who lost his dad in 9/11?
That's
these
what I
sick
didn't
fucks.
get. That's why Staten Island's such a fuckhole.
What could they have possibly said about? So
Dude,
what? You have big lips.
Dude, my first third. I went to a new school in 3rd grade, and my dad died the first week of school. And I still was people were just shitty to me for some reason.
What would they say? I would assume a 9/11 kid would be untouchable.
Yeah, I thought I would have mad friends. I thought I was right. I was like, this is the dopest thing that could happen to me in this new school. I'm going to be all the new friends.
What do they say to you?
It was just, people were very off-putting, I think, because I was the 9/11 kid.
Right.
And all the teachers were super nice to me. I think I guess it might have put people off.
Pissed other kids off because they weren't getting
that was the new kid.
Getting the attention.
Yeah, the new kid. He seemed like an apple polisher.
Yeah,
what
a
you're
piece
doing.
of shit.
Yeah, look at him getting all the niceness.
Kids suck.
Kids are really mean,
They're
man.
brutal.
But I'm really happy that they were mean.
All right. It made you a better person.
It makes you funny.
Yeah.
Makes you funny.
Very rarely do you talk to a truly funny guy. How was high school? Terrific!
It was amazing.
Oh, I loved it.
Look at this yearbook photo.
Holy cow. Voted most likely to make friends.
Yuck.
Remember those fucking school elections they would have?
Oh,
Best looking, most flirtatious.
Funniest.
And all of them are
Best eyes.
Class clown.
Back in the day, they did pay attention to features.
Sure.
Best eyes, best hair, best tits, best ass.
Class clown.
Yeah, it was class clown.
I won that, but I was in rehab because of a wrist slicing episode. So they gave it to someone when the photos were taken. So they gave it to someone else.
But you officially won it?
Oh, they said I won by a landslide. But they figured it doesn't look good to take the class clown photos with a boy with a bandaged wrist.
Behind you? There it is, 20 years later, still the class clown.
Turn that frown upside down.
You couldn't pose with like your hand behind you, like in a weird way.
They didn't
you
offer.
earned it.
Just put your wrist in front of your mouth as a smile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wait till Heath Ledger does it, then you'll think it's brilliant.
A wrist-cutting incident.
Yeah.
It's very hard to make that funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very difficult when you're in high school to point out the irony of the old wrist slice.
The old
Johnny Carson.
the old cutaroo.
I wish Ed did that.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. Tonight I got something to promote. We're doing our documentary show, coming back here to do more radio starting at 7 o'clock, so join me and the Stangles. We have a good time doing that damn thing. We'll be back.
One thing.
Oh, sorry.
Kentucky, it's okay. Louisville, my first time ever. I'm going to be at the Laughing Derby. I don't mean to sound so unenthusiastic, but it goes on sale this morning at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And I'm there December 10, 11, and 12. And I've been trying to get there for a while. Like, I keep getting emails, and I'm finally able to do it. Who cares? Why don't I just plug it? Who gives a fuck about my process? Really, it's boring.
There might be one other thing we should talk about when we get back. High school students protest and walk out after transgender student uses girls' locker room.
All right, that's a weird.
Interesting.
That's a weird one for.
Let's think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get our dicks out and think about it.
What? What happened with the?
I don't know what's hotter.
What? I thought
the isolation or the fucking the transgender girl, or the fact that she's fully functional. Who knows? So much to learn.
It's a lot to talk.
But we have to be naked for this. Can't we just like kind of?
I'm not saying in front of each other. I'm saying alone.
Let's
go contemplate it in the bathroom.
all right, you can
bunch
do
of
that
men tugging
during the break.
Dicks.
Yeah.
You scared me.
Come back.
And then we'll do the show.
We'll come back and talk about what we learned.
I thought we would all have to be naked, but we don't. That's good. Good. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Hit that thing. We'll be back. Oh, yeah. We're back with Pete Davidson, who's going back to SNL very, very soon. So we're trying to squeeze a couple more appearances in from you before you have to disappear for a while.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, fuck. We love having you on the show, Pete. How were the VMAs?
They were cool, man.
They were weird to watch.
It's all award shows I feel like suck.
Right.
But I got to go. My girlfriend was hosting the carpet, and she had a show to promote. So I got to like just watch, rather than do anything. So it was really nice to watch. But those shows they're all fucking weird. Like everybody's on their phones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like when you watch it, on TV, you're like, wow, that looks sick.
Yeah.
But when you're there, you're like, oh,
it's just whatever.
This is it. It's just everybody on their phone.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not paying attention to what's going on stage?
There's only hot dogs. Like, that's it. There's hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's breaking down the VMAs.
No fucking
Jimmy.
bottle caps.
Yeah.
Like it's a Yankee game. Like
you can't throw bottles, that's why?
Yeah, well, there's no bottles, there's only cups, and they have fucking like
just hot dogs.
They have hot dogs.
And everyone's on their phones.
Everybody's on their phones. Nobody gives a fuck.
I would assume if you go to the VMAs, it's one time where you might just leave your fucking phone alone because there's so much people watching.
Even when Kanye was up,
like
I was watching, but like most people were like videotaping themselves watching, like not even really just being like, this guy's crazy. And it's like, everybody's there just to post that they're there. Yeah.
Was there
anyone
not
missing anything?
Was there anyone you saw where you went, wow, fuck,
that's cool? I saw seeing Kanye walk by is pretty cool because someone that famous, you're just like, oh wow, it's cool to be in the same building as that person. But it's all bullshit. Like that Kanye speech saved the whole VMAs for me. I was like, this was worth it.
Yeah, he really does he knows how to make it He
Gets the
usually,
people
as much as I
talking.
say he's a boring and a terrible speaker, but he is usually the most interesting part of those things. Like, that's the only one. He knows how to make people talk about him. Like, he's a brilliant guy. You'll never say he's a stupid guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he really understands how to work the media. I'd say he works the media as well, if not better than Trump, or at least as well as Trump. Like, those are guys who just understand.
It's scary.
They get it.
How to do it.
I would assume watching that people were pointing and laughing at Miley Cyrus for being just goofy.
Yeah.
And this fake edge and this fake, she's unpredictable bullshit.
I thought she handled that Nicki Minaj thing beautifully.
Yeah, really dismissive.
I thought that was fucking great how she handled that. Because, you know, when someone's like, hey, motherfucker, and then she was just like, well, you know, we all do interviews, and, you know how people twist words, so congrats on your award. And coming up next, like, I was like, wow,
really
that was
just brushed her off.
real fucking professional. Like, I was really impressed with that.
I don't think I ever want a black person to look at me and go, what's good?
Oh, dude.
Because that's what she said. She goes, Miley, what's good?
I wouldn't want to have a beef with anybody in hip hop. I'll fucking have, I'll have a country beef with anybody. I'll take on any of those country music fuckers. But
hip hop has gotten soft. They don't kill each other like they used to.
it's starting to get a little gritty again, Jimmy.
Too corporate. Oh, is it
It's
right?
starting to get a little nasty.
dirty?
Yeah.
Down and dirty.
Yeah, people are starting to go to jail again.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think that's a street cred. I really do. I think when these guys get busted with a gun and they do a year.
Why are there no conspiracies about that? Like no, like shit like that. Like nobody's like, oh, that was a setup. He wanted to look cool and all that. Because like that, I would believe. Like that's a fun conversation to have.
Sure. I also think a lot of these guys are just careless, and they're all doing it. And the odds are you're going to get caught sooner or later because your entourage is not exactly behaving that well on the road.
Oh, the entourages there are fucking ridiculous.
Really?
Who had a big entourage? Kanye, I'm sure.
Kanye had a big, but he's smart. His entourage is all like people in suits, people he's signed with. It's all like. It's the rappers that aren't really that big that have the fucking idiots running around on hoverboards and fucking making noises.
Yeah, like Jay-Z is probably going to come in with a couple of undercover cops.
Yeah.
Or like guys that are off, or ex-cop, like, real bodyguards, not guys that just did 6 years for distribution.
Right.
I owe Pete Davidson an apology. I just realized something. I was hoping that you were going to trash Miley Cyrus, and I forgot she's like the first guest on SNL. What an idiot.
Corporate Pete.
Corporate Pete.
Smoothing and slithering along the questions.
That was smooth.
Notice how I was like, she handled this beautifully.
Yeah, because I'm looking at you like, what?
Layup.
Because the question was, were people pointing and laughing at her for being...
Yeah, I mean, like...
You don't have to answer, for real.
I think the thing with her is that she knows what she's doing. Which is
she's
cool.
smart.
Like
she's obviously smart. She gets people talking to.
Out of all those Disney people that came out, I think she's one of the smartest people, doing it. And she's also like, it's also weird. Like it's all because she has so many young fans, and she, you're trying to get like I have that problem where everybody's like, oh, that's the pot guy, and it's like you don't know. It's not even, that's like all I'm doing right now. That's why I'm the pot guy, is because that's very new to me, and that's very, and like, she's under a microscope, so now that she's into pot, everybody has to see it.
I don't know, though. I don't think that's appropriate. Do you remember her father saying Inky Breaky Heart? Now, that's entertaining.
Oh. Bringing
That's
it back.
safe entertainment.
Yeah, it's good entertainment.
Safe entertainment.
He's doing, I wonder if it drives him nuts, too. He's probably proud.
He's probably proud. She's probably making so much fucking money.
And he's getting a taste of that. He's
Absolutely.
loving it.
I don't think he is. Why would he?
Oh, he's getting a taste.
Oh, my God, is he getting a taste?
He's getting a taste. Maybe not officially set
His
up
heart
where he
is
gets a
not
taste.
Can
but-
everyone stop saying taste? For 5
Getting a
minutes,
taste.
You said taste 3 times. He said it 2 times. Stop saying taste.
He's getting a taste.
Taste.
It's like,
Taste.
Of her pussy.
Now that I respect.
Oh, what?
There we go.
Sorry.
I do like her, though. I honestly do. I think she's sexy, and I don't mind that because she's young. It's not like she's 45 trying to be outrageous. What is she, 25? It's like,
She's having fun.
And she's also pretty smart with the media, though, man. Like, she knows in this world of all this crazy behavior and gaga and all this weird shit that these people do, she somehow can stick her tongue out or do a weird thing on a fucking wrecking ball and still grab the headlines from everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair
and
enough.
she's a very nice person.
22 years old.
I've only met her like twice, but it was very brief for photos. She asked me for a photo. It was so weird.
Like, she's super cool. And I've heard, like when she came to host, like, a year or two ago, she's like, y'all could just do stuff about me, like sticking my tongue out and being like a complete crazy person. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, she's just totally down for it. Like, she gets
sure.
it, you know?
All right. Good enough. Transgender teen sparks protests and walkout of Missouri high school after using girls' locker room. So you got a transgender teen sparking controversy using the girls' locker room. More than 150 students walked out in protest because Leela Perry, 17, used the locker room ahead of gym class. But another 40 students expressed their support of Perry, who has identified as female since the age of 13.
I believe Perry, but I don't think that. I think that the autonomy of women being in the locker room has got to be their own thing. It's got to be a third locker room. That's it. Third bathroom.
You think?
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm starting to think it's more of again, I don't know what it is, but a third thing. But no, you can't just have. If it makes girls uncomfortable, that you can't just say tough shit to the girls because they don't want somebody with a cock. Even if you're considered female, whatever it is that science finally says it is, I don't know.
But why does that make you uncomfortable? Here at Sirius XM, it's a known fact that we're in the bathroom with gay guys.
We're in the studio with them.
But we're not uncomfortable to be in the bathroom with gay guys. So what is that about in the end anyway? At this high school, these girls got to be aware that they're in the
lesbians
in the locker room with lesbians. Thank you, Jimmy. Yes. So what is that all about in the end?
There just tends to be more of a threat.
Or do they think you're a sick person because you're transgender?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just like,
they see you as a male.
There's a penis.
Yeah.
Just like,
right,
if we were in the bathroom and somebody had a vagina, we would be like, hey.
But we wouldn't be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but
we'd be pretty happy
but
about
you would take a quiet shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit would be a lot...
You would want one of those loud ones?
A couple of those...
Do you remember being really young and like sneaking into the girls' room because it was like naughty? Like, oh my god, let's go in there and check it out.
Yeah,
But what was that about? You weren't seeing anything.
When I was in grade school, I used to have change, and I used to roll change on the floor so I could slide under and look under skirts. Yeah, I used to have to pick it up and then I would look up.
Nice.
That's what John Candy did in Splash, isn't it?
Are you into upskirt videos?
No, apparently 7-year-old Pete was very into that. I didn't even know what a vagina was. I just knew looking up skirts was a thing.
Do you know, I used to buy in these porno shops, they would have these video cassettes of upskirts. This guy would go around videotaping upskirts. It was silent. There was no sound. Good way to explain what silent means. And I would and I would
couldn't hear a peep.
Couldn't hear a peep. Silent, nada, quiet. And I would jerk off to these videos. It was really antisocial behavior. I was in my mid-20s, and they would sell these upskirts. I remember there was one, I used to like these golden shower videos, where this girl would pee her pants. They were called Texas Tinklers. That was the series.
Texas Tinklers.
Yeah, and she was so sexy. She would just piss her pants.
And the peeing thing
never loved her.
You could just meet half my family at a 4th of July barbecue.
The peeing thing was never.
The peeing thing was never.
Nah, and upskirts were not for the most part.
Like me and my girlfriend, I think gonna think about trying it. Like we talked about it the other day.
Trying what?
She was just like, "Are you into the pee thing?" I was like, "I don't know. I've never."
She want you to pee on her, or do you want to pee? She want to.
We don't know. We're trying to figure it out. Like,
I've done
who's gonna do the peeing?
Let her pee on you first.
Yeah,
it'd be easier to look at each other if it doesn't work out.
I feel more comfortable that way.
Pete's lying. You know exactly. So who wants this?
Okay. Well,
who wants this? You can't just say, I don't know, we're just sort of throwing it out there.
I want her to pee on me.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Pete. I don't think you're going to get fired from SNL for saying that.
Yeah, I would like to get urinated on.
Cool.
For the story.
For that showbiz experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done it many times, and it's not bad. It feels warm. It doesn't feel as gross as you think it's going to feel.
You do it in the shower, right?
Well, if you're a rookie. Sure, if you're a kid. You
don't stand on the top of your bed and...
No, but I've done it in the bed before too, where you must consume. But that's an advanced player.
Will you drink the pee?
I have, of course.
Oh, how's that?
Popcorn. I've said that many times. It's like popcorn. It's very salty. But you try it in the shower. You get it on your chest. You see how it is.
I mean, I would try it, I guess, but I just know it's not going to be like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing that ever happened.
You should try it though. It's fun.
But I mean,
I feel like after I'd be like, I'm glad we did that.
I think everyone in the room would feel silly afterwards.
Yeah,
just like, oh god, that.
Yeah, I feel like right. We did that, huh?
Yeah. I don't think your hard-on would be just like...
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll be hard.
My dick, I've jerked off.
I don't think so. I don't think that would make it hard.
Yeah.
Jerking off while you're getting pissed on in the tub, I've had that happen before from dominatrixes. Wow. When there's a girl shooting a good stream on your dick and balls, it's a really weird, warm feeling. It's pretty awesome.
I just want to say that the Blaze just stopped recording this show today.
Not at all, because how many...
They're not going to be using this segment.
Let me ask you something. How many people in professional entertainment admit being pissed on? Not many. Some do. Gigi Allen. But very few.
He was barely in entertainment, though.
Exactly, and he ate shit on stage. So I'll tip my cap to Gigi Allen. You gotta fucking step aside and let him walk through. But how many people who did not have incestuous relationships with their own brother? How many people?
Really?
Yeah, not a good scene. I pissed on a girl in L.A. one time in the hotel room, and I stood over her and pissed on her on my hotel floor. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be a cool feeling when you're the pisser.
And pissy, I prefer to be honest. But yeah, it's not bad.
All right, so we're going back to Perry.
You clean it up with your mouth.
The
good boy, good toilet.
Okay.
The transgender teen. So the protest followed a school board meeting last week to debate whether Perry had the right to use the ladies' facility. There's a lot of ignorance. They are claiming that they're uncomfortable. I don't believe for a second that they are. I think this is pure and simple bigotry, Perry told local news station KMOV. Do we have that report?
Yeah, can we see the report?
Yeah, let's go right to the report so I don't have to do any more shitty reading. Having a bad day.
You're fine.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. All right, let's play this.
Well, the computer sucks, but you're fine.
I don't like them all sitting outside and protest like there was just a shooting. Get a hold of yourselves.
Hold on. Computer sucks.
Perry identifies as a gay male until she was 13, but in February this year came out publicly as transgender. All right.
Yeah, that's a little...
She says, I'm not going to hurt their daughters. I'm not going to expose myself. I'm not a pervert. I'm a transgender woman. I'm a girl. I'm just in there to change, do my business. And that if they have any questions about being transgender, they are more than welcome to talk to me, and I'll be happy to explain
But
it.
you can't go into a female's locker room when they... this is the problem I have with it. Because you want the same rights and you deserve the same rights and you deserve equal treatment under the law, it doesn't mean that you can say a bunch of girls are wrong to have you uncomfortable. You're not a post-operative, and it does make a difference. I'm sorry, girls getting ready when you're changing a locker room.
And there's your penis out.
Yes, if it makes people uncomfortable, that doesn't mean that they're bigoted against you. If they don't want you in the hallways with them, or if they say we don't want you to have your own locker room area, that's bigoted.
Yeah, just because you want to yell at it and get rid of it doesn't mean that...
They threw your clothes outside and they were like, change! They'd be like, yeah, all right, there's something wrong. Because it's also like you're in high school. It's like the fucking weirdest time for your body anyway. Like, you're going through puberty. That's like, I'm on the tail end of that.
I would assume he's not, exposing his penis in there, though. He's probably being...
I'm sure he's not shaking it around.
Very careful about it.
He's not doing the hokey pokey with his cock, but I'm sure that he's, making them... And I all of a sudden said, I'm a girl. I don't know if you are or not. You know what I mean? I think that some transgender people legitimately are that. I think other ones probably misidentify themselves. And you shouldn't put... The girl shouldn't have to wonder... what that is. I think maybe it's a third gender. I don't know, man. It's so confusing.
Yeah, but if you still have the penis, that certainly is going to make a lot of teenage girls nervous.
You're not
in
a
the locker
bigot
room.
because you're uncomfortable with that.
Exactly. You should be able to be uncomfortable by that.
Yeah, especially
you should be able to say that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's
and
go
not
to the
be
news
like you're a
stories.
monster.
Let's go to the news story. No?
No, it's rejected it again. All I know is we're on
bigoted
the
computer.
I think I pretty much did it, no?
You did.
No, but I want to see what the girl looks like.
Yeah, we'll try.
I'll give you a quick
We have
synopsis.
A picture. There's a picture.
Oh
boy.
Looks like Rudy Sarzo and Ozzy in 1981. Playing bass on fucking Diary of a Madman. That was Bob Daisley. All right.
The trans teen does not want a third bathroom. High school kids are already awkward without having a trans in their locker room. That's what
Well,
Pete
how about
said.
this? Too bad if you don't want a third bathroom. Too bad.
But isn't that like a great thing? And doesn't that show like improvement and just like in society? Like, hey, now we have 3 bathrooms. Like, wouldn't you be proud? Like, we have our own bathroom.
Mm-hmm. See, that's where it comes. That's where you're forcing, in a way that's not appropriate. I don't think you're forcing yourself into other people's faces in a way that's not, hey, I want to get married, I want to live my life. You're like, you're going to be in this locker room with me.
Right.
And you're going to be comfortable.
Right. You can't force people to be comfortable with everything. You just can't.
Because I've
Give them
said,
time.
I'm a girl. And it's like, well, is there something, like, have you gotten, you all right?
What happened?
Yep.
Oh, I heard that too.
wrong pipe.
Yeah.
You were laughing at Jimmy saying I'm a girl?
Yeah, but I caught it.
It just it came out weird.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's enough. I don't know if that's enough.
This is all brand new. You got to give people time.
Science doesn't even know exactly what it is. They're working on it. People don't know how to classify it. It doesn't mean that everyone's a bigot because people don't know what to. Believe me, I'm not bigoted against the trans community, and I don't know what to make of it.
I'm in full agreement that you shouldn't beat the shit out of someone that's transgender. But with that said, you got to give people time to understand all this.
And you could do it you could be dignified with it. You don't have to be a fucking
dick about it.
Yeah, you could treat them with respect and go, look, this is where we're at right now.
Right.
A third bathroom because maybe it's a third gender. Who the fuck knows?
Can we put the fat kids in the third bathroom so they don't clog up our fucking toilets?
No,
Can we do that?
Question's a very good question.
It sounds like a bigoted thing, but it's not a bad question.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy.
They just need to redesign bathrooms. Like they can still
Exactly,
have
for cameras.
Yeah, the angles are all off.
Right.
But the mirrors aren't set up properly.
Give everybody privacy, and then they leave each other alone.
And they're all even saying, they're all like, we support this wholeheartedly.
I love
That's
that
what everybody's saying. Even all the kids in the story.
I love that it took a really long time to put up the borders between urinals.
Oh, yeah.
You're not old enough.
You used to just be able to see dick, huh?
Yes, left to your left, to your right. But
Yeah.
finally someone said, Jesus Christ, we got to put up fucking
I gotta
walls.
stop seeing all these dicks.
Or I just got to learn to look straight ahead.
Yeah.
I used to tell this story as a joke, but it was true. I was in the Parkway Rest area when I was younger. I was doing an open mic, and an real old guy, I thought he looked like Captain Kangaroo, stood next to me. And it struck me as odd, excuse me, because it was late. And I came in the bathroom, and I felt him looking down at my dick. You could just sense that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at him, and he goes, "That's quite a pretty one." And I was, and he's like, "Would you like to have it sucked?" And I'm like, "No, thank you." I just left. But I was very polite.
Yeah. But if a guy is right next to you in a bathroom, then nothing good comes out of that.
Yeah. If you sense someone staring at your dick, he's probably staring at your dick.
Yeah, your dick has a certain, my dick got like shy.
Yeah.
Just
could sense it.
It's a special sense guys have. You go in the bathroom and you figure out the math right away. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I know I could use that stall. Fuck,
Right.
I gotta, even though there's 2 stalls open, I gotta wait.
Sometimes
I
I'll
fucking
wait.
have to wait.
I'll
now.
wait if someone's next to
But
it.
immediately
wanna
you
put
do
your face
that
on a warm one.
But immediately you do that. As soon as you walk in the bathroom, you figure it out immediately which
Right.
one is the one you should go to. I'm way off on what, Melissa?
Melissa, let's
my
get to
God.
it. Come on, Mel.
Melissa in
Give me the
Wisconsin.
business, Mel.
Hi, Jim is absolutely right on everything he said.
Oh, thank you for the call. Take care. Oh.
If I was in the bathroom, I'm a female and I'm in the locker room, I would feel incredibly uncomfortable. And I'm pretty sure, Opie, you would not be happy if your daughter was in the locker room with a dick. A guy just sitting there getting dressed. It's uncomfortable.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want the dick, out. Yeah, you're right.
You guys would love him.
But I don't think I would. Of course, I'd feel a little weird if it was my daughter going into this situation. But I wouldn't be completely freaked out by it either. I wouldn't be like, holy fuck, I got to write my letter and I got to go talk to the principal and I got to do this and that.
No, but it's uncomfortable. So, it doesn't make you a bigot.
I think Jimmy made an extremely good point there by saying,
Bravo,
in the
Jimmy, you did
end,
wonderful.
you're a teenage girl and there's a penis in the locker room. That would make a teenage girl, or some of them, very uncomfortable.
By someone who has identified themselves as a girl. And I don't know whether or not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or doctors have also backed up the claim. But I think, and then people are going to go, well, what about that argument for Maurer? There's a huge difference between the sanctity of a locker room. And we all understand locker rooms are segregated. It's always been that way. Because basically there's a sexual threat to women. That's why locker rooms are segregated.
Right.
It's not because boys don't want to see tits.
Right.
Okay, guys would more than be happy to have a segregated locker room.
Oh my God.
Or an integrated locker room. But it's a threat to women's
It's pretty
safety.
awesome.
So that's why they do it. So I think that's different than just, well, I'm uncomfortable in society. Well, that's a little bit of tough shit. But for someone to not feel safe, someone to feel safe in a locker room, I think is different.
Mm-hmm. And there are girls in there that are looking at your young daughter's body going, wow, I want that.
Yeah, and a trans locker room, fine. And then, well, I don't want to be the only one in the locker room. Well, look, numerically, there are less trans people than there are boys or girls. So it doesn't mean that you're less than. It just means numerically there's less of you. So if there's 3 of you, there's 3 of you in a locker room.
Yeah.
Can we go old school and give him an outhouse behind the scoreboard?
That might be a problem.
Yeah, that might be.
I'm trying to figure out a solution.
That comes under separate but equal Brown versus Board of Education, which was worked out in the 50s, I believe.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got that story going on. Very interesting.
You know, someone will call and tell me how I'm wrong. You know, oh, it's bigoted.
Well, what are you going to do? I'm a high school teacher. We just had a meeting about trans students. Where were these trans people when we were growing up?
They probably existed and we just didn't know it, or they were identified just as gay men, or as we, who knows?
All right, but go back to your high school, let's say. Everyone's picturing someone that goes, all right, well, yeah, they could have probably been transgender if they were, in high school nowadays.
I can't think of anyone.
I can't
honestly,
either. That's what I'm
cannot.
saying.
Yeah,
not a one.
But it was also not accepted back then like it is now. All I knew about trannies growing up was Sulka, the porn star who I saw in my friend's father's magazine. Sulka, S-U-L-K-A, famous transgender porn girl from the 70s, early 80s. And I had never heard of her, and I saw her in a magazine, and she was fascinating to me.
Right. Paul in Jersey, good point.
I was like, what is this, and why am I tugging my dick to it?
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the only name I knew.
It's the mask face that always gives it away.
Yeah, it's an odd face. It's not exact.
But
who does she look
boobs.
like? Wait a minute.
Very nice boobs,
right,
especially for the time.
Wait,
Yeah,
that
for
face
the time.
looks like is that the thing from Saw? Who does she look like?
The V for Vendetta.
Yeah, the anonymous mask, the V for Vendetta mask.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go.
There you go.
Nice hairdo.
Paul in Jersey.
Monroe-ish.
Yeah.
People think people think he's only going doing this to get into the locker room and see girls. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't think that's why he's doing it. You don't identify yourself as a gay male from 13 just to eventually see a cunt up close when you're 17. Like, it doesn't work that way. I believe the sincerity.
Let's be honest too. Part of it, she feels safer in the female locker room.
Oh, that might be true.
You imagine fucking teenage boys, what they would do with that shit.
Teenage boys are the worst.
They would be complete assholes to the guy, probably more than the girls.
Yeah, I totally get why, he wants to be, she wants to be in that locker room, but it's just like, some people are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And in a locker room is different than walking around going, I think marriage is between a man and a woman. We all know the difference. In a locker room, a girl's locker room, you can't have male figures in the locker room. And let's just say this person is legitimately trans. Okay. So what if they say some guy doesn't just want to say I'm trans too, and I want to go in the girls' locker room, and girls have to wonder, okay, how sincere is this person?
Right.
So who's to make the determination?
Do I show my tits or not?
Yeah, but who's to make that determination? So you can't put girls in danger for that reason.
The thing that's annoying is literally the article is like everybody completely supports the decision. It's just like they're looking for an option. Like trying to make a common ground.
A trans locker room is perfectly acceptable.
That's a positive idea.
I don't mind my tax dollars paying for that.
That's a
fair.
positive idea. It makes them comfortable. Like, I don't know.
Let's go to Trucker Bob.
I would be uncomfortable if there was a girl in the guys' locker room.
I might be too. Yeah, her just looking at my giant dick compared to everybody else's small one.
But we've all
get it. Fucking Jim.
Yeah, fucking Jim.
But that has happened already at sporting events or concerts. You always have that one girl going, "Look, I can't wait anymore," and she comes popping in the men's bathroom. And jumps in a stall.
Yes.
Yep. Trucker Bob, go ahead.
Morning, boys.
Hey.
I watched this news report last night. I mean, I've seen Baby J on Jim's show. This boy don't even look like he's transgender. Looks like he's got a bad wig on that ain't even combed out. I don't know. Doesn't look to me like it's a real deal.
Well, that doesn't mean that he's not, though, just because he looks more masculine or he's not as passable, quote unquote. That doesn't mean he's less of a transgender, legitimate person.
Yeah, it takes money to look better.
And I'm not being politically correct by saying that. I'm factually saying that.
Right.
That's not what makes the determination.
I think he believes he's a girl.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. It just looks fake to me. Have a good morning, boys.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Colin in Jersey.
Bathroom. Watching that too. What the fuck are you doing in the locker room? Yeah, you want to use locker room? Why the fuck you want to use locker room? Why can't I?
Colin, go ahead.
Hey guys.
Hey.
So I'm a manager at a pretty common restaurant chain across the country.
Applebee's, McDonald's.
Not quite. But
do you inspire with magic and fun?
Yeah, magic and fun.
Hula hands. Sorry, I was going out of left field for that one. I've never met someone that worked at Hula Hands.
You want to too, right?
Yeah. Just so I can be like, hula hands!
That would make your morning.
That would make me so happy.
Yes. Well, it's on my bucket list. I have a weird bucket list. Yeah. I want to eat the ass of a woman who works at the Olive Garden.
It's the only thing not crossed off. Just can't find her.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Colin.
So occasionally there's times where women will breastfeed in public and stuff like that.
Nice.
And, the thing that they always say is, oh, it's natural. It's part of, human nature and part of what people are and stuff like that. And I said the same argument can be said about that kid. If that's who he is and that's what he wants to be, it might make people feel uncomfortable, just like people breastfeeding in a restaurant or whatever. But part of what whoever up there or whatever they believe in made him. So
I just get mad when the young mother looks up at me like I'm a fucking piece of shit because I'm taking a look. Who doesn't take a look? You take a look.
Fucking breastfeeding. Yeah, of course.
I take a
That was the first time I ever saw a tit. Was when someone was breastfeeding.
And then they look at you like, oh God, you pig.
I'm the pig. You're the one with a fucking bib outside.
Well, we really are the only animals that would be fascinated by basically a mother. Picture of one male lion walking by and seeing the fucking female nursing 600 tits and going, oh. They don't give a shit. They just take a dump right in front of her, right by her head. Then
Take that.
Then eat one of the young.
Yeah.
They don't get a sexual thrill.
Oh, those lions got it all figured out.
They certainly do. Well, Cecil didn't.
That's when the breasts look the best, though, right after you have a kid.
Nice and plump.
Yeah, big and fat areolas all swollen.
My God.
Full of life-giving elixir.
Elixir. All right, Colin. Thank you. All right.
Bye.
All right.
Goodbye.
What else we got going on? What was the other
That girl who can fucking that true sociopath in Boston. I think it's Boston.
I don't know the story. You were telling me about it a little bit before the show started, Jimmy. So
I have
help
mixed
me out
feelings
here.
on it. She's obviously a horrible. She's a tremendously damaged cunt of a human being. She's encouraged her boyfriend to commit suicide. She was harping on it.
Oh, I read that story. That was fucking
But the guy went for it?
That girl's a fucking piece of shit.
But he might have been one of these always threatening to do it me guys. But they say she had that thing where she just wanted attention because her boyfriend was dead. And when you read these, she's a hateable person. Like, she's another one that should just really have a stroke
When you
and
read
collapse
the text, it's like, wow.
Yeah. But legally, what's her responsibility? She was encouraging him to do it. She was, they had been talking about it. And you could see he was trying, all this guy wanted was for her to talk him out of it.
Yeah, that's it.
He was and again, one of those, notice me, but still. And she goes, look, if you don't do it, I'm going to have to get you help.
This is what made it bad for me, was that it wasn't all responses. There was some where she would be like, did you do it yet?
Yeah, when are you going to do it?
Yeah, if he was just like, hey, I'm going to kill myself, and she was like, well, I wish you nothing but the best, blah, blah, blah. But she would, like, hit him up, be like, is it in process?
She's like, you keep saying you're going to do it. You're not going to
do it.
But was she just mad at the guy?
No, she was encouraging it. You could clearly tell that she wanted attention from him.
Wow.
And then she knew she fucked up because, like, I think 2 or 3 days later, there was another string of texts where she was texting her friend where she would be like, I should have told him not to do it. And then she found out that they were going through all the text messages, so she started texting, like, polite things to other people to try and cover up for what she did.
So she's on trial? What are they trying to get her for?
Manslaughter, I'm guessing.
Manslaughter.
She should get something.
I don't know, but again, in text message, you can't prove that maybe she did know his intent was real and it was a long history of it. But when you're in text message, encouraging, I don't know, man. I don't know if that should be illegal, as much as I think she's a horrible person who I really do hope dies.
It's the lying after that makes it weird.
Let me read the first paragraph. So, it's shocking new text exchanges show a Plainville
teen accused of pressuring her online boyfriend into killing himself, callously talking him through his doubts, helping him devise a plan, and badgering him after he kept putting it off right up until the minute he took his own life, according to court filings.
But he's obviously a weak-willed man.
Right.
Some online girlfriend. I think he only met her a couple of times.
That just makes it so much sense.
And then
that's pathetic, though.
She wrote stuff like, "There's no way you could fail. You're strong. I love you to the moon and back and deeper than the ocean and higher than the pines, too.
Oh, she's quite a poet, this one.
Babe, forever and always. It's painless and quick." Wow.
Yeah. And then, like, immediately, like, I think 3 minutes after he killed himself, she texted, like, her friend or the mother or something, and told her exactly. She's like, "I think that he went to Lowe's and got a battery and like and killed himself with the battery that he just bought." Said exactly what he did.
When Roy responded, "I'm sorry, and just doing this and everything, like I just had one life and I'm blowing it." Prosecutors say she replied, "Don't be sorry, Conrad, and you are my beautiful guardian angel forever and ever, smiley face. I'll always smile up at you knowing that you aren't far away." After convincing Roy his parents would recover from his suicide because I honestly feel like they can accept it, Carter, 18, allegedly texted him, "Everyone will be sad for a while, but they will get over it and move on." Yeah, you just have to do it. You have everything you need. Tonight is the night. It's now or never. What the fuck?
I was reading these.
That would make me not want to kill myself.
Yeah, that would really. That would.
When
make
she's like, "Everybody will forget it," I'm like, "Oh, never mind."
Not worth it.
At one point prior to his suicide, Carter, that's the girl, right?
Yeah.
Carter's the
Michelle
girl.
Carter.
Carter texted Roy, "Okay, do you have the generator?" "Not yet, LOL," he replied.
This is it, yeah.
And then in capital letters, "Well, when are you getting it?" Jeez.
I was reading the actual text exchange. She was so excited to have this guy kill himself, which is probably about power. Who knows what her fucking horrible little life has been like. But she's just another mentally ill. That's mental illness. To be able to be so detached that you can talk a guy who's obviously in a lot of pain, even if he was an annoying me guy, and he probably was. But instead of just trying to get this guy help or walking away from him, to actually, you could see this guy wanted to be talked out of it. It's really sad. He wanted to be talked out of it, and she's just a pig.
Jesus. Wow.
She's a sick story.
I don't even know what to say about this.
It's one of those stories you read and you're like, really?
Right.
You're like, what the fuck, dude?
Do you really think she really wanted him to?
Yes.
100%. Yes. I think she immediately regretted it when she realized what she did.
Right.
No, when she realized she was going to get in trouble, I
Yeah.
think she regretted it.
Yeah.
Or did she get off on the fact that she had control of this guy to a point, and that was good enough? Or she really, really wanted him to kill himself?
Do we have the text
that
message
they
printed
only
out?
met a couple times is really bothering me.
At another point, Carter texted, "You can't keep pushing it off, though. That's all you keep doing. Roy, I'm going to do it soon. I have the key, so I'm going to get the generator in a few hours." She says, "A few hours isn't soon. Ha ha."
She just wanted that attention for herself. Ugh. A few hours isn't soon enough. Ha ha ha.
Right.
Like, go get the generator to kill yourself. I just don't know legally if you're allowed to, if you can put someone in jail for that. Look at her. She has a big head. What a big skull. What a big, dumb skull.
I'm focusing on her beautiful eyes, though. Pete, look at those eyes, man. They're a bit dreamy.
Yeah.
He had a history of depression and attempted suicide in the past. But his family was hopeful that he would get through it.
Because the rest of her had dreamy eyes and the lips aren't bad either.
He seems to be pulling out of it, his grandmother told some station.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's really sad.
They only met a couple times.
He said to her, "How was your day?" And she writes back, "When are you doing it?"
It's so terrible.
We can all agree that she's funny.
Yeah, she's hysterical, that one.
She should be on SNL.
Oh, that fucking Carter.
He said,
I would like to go through her tweets.
Roy said he was, you know how fast she'd get in trouble?
Yeah.
Did you encourage your boyfriend? No, I
don't. But I do a great impression of Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. He said he was having a good day, but Carter wasn't satisfied. She writes, "Really?
Really?"
Roy says, "Yes." "Well, that's great. What did you do?" He says, "Ended up going to work for a little bit and just looked stuff up." So we probably know what they're talking about. "When are you going to do it? Stop ignoring the question."
Oh, God.
What a nag.
But she's got beautiful eyes, though.
She's a fucking, what a big forehead and dumb teeth. But then again, you know, look, you have to put a lot of this
Never
on
heard
him.
teeth described as dumb before. It
He's
works.
stupid, and I know that it's sad that he's so depressed, but he has to be held accountable for his own shit.
Right.
You met this fucking big-headed nothing twice.
Yeah.
And instead of just saying you're a cunt and you're a sociopath, you're like, okay, I'll go get the generator.
Yeah, it's on him, but like it's
Totally
still,
on him,
it's
yeah.
so sad.
She's awful, but he's a dope.
Yeah.
Not to be cold-hearted about it, but, you know, if you can't just put it on her because...
She didn't actually kill him.
Right.
Yeah.
Her lawyers say that she was brainwashed by him into helping him commit suicide.
well, their text to go back
By
and
what?
prove that.
Would she watch The Ring? Give me a fucking break.
That was already his plan, and she was brainwashed into helping.
I don't believe that, but...
Well, it might be a good defense, though. Who knows? We'll be...
Even though I could not save my boyfriend's life, I want to put myself out here to try to save as many other lives as possible. She wrote on Facebook. Like, just an attention-seeking, horrible girl that I would probably be attracted to if I was that age.
See, I didn't expect that last part.
Yeah, it turned around a little bit.
Oh, well, you know what? She's
I
okay.
fully expected that.
Oh,
She organized a fundraising tournament in Roy's memory and posted on Facebook and Twitter. A fundraising tournament. Oh, it was a generator raising fund.
She's a fucking idiot. Just have a flag football game. Fucking jerk off.
She became a self-proclaimed advocate for mental
She doesn't
health.
even know how to do that right. We're going to have a tournament.
But we could all admit the crazy ones could be a bit fun at times. We all know that.
I'm not saying she wouldn't have been a treat in the sack or
We
she
know
would have
that.
sent great dirty pictures.
Yeah.
We've all had a few
But she
crazies.
gives a good stream.
Oh, yeah. She gives a crazy girl piss.
The golden shower.
Yeah. She squats over it and stares straight ahead and just fucking probably shoots out
Doesn't
a really
blink.
shameless piss.
No blinking.
Yeah.
Is that it on this? It's a hell of a case. What we got?
She suggested he take medication to fall asleep and allow the fumes to work. She worried that he wouldn't go through with it because the sun would soon be coming up. She suggested that he go to an empty parking lot. Like, she guided him through the whole thing.
Yeah.
She was supportive.
All right.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson in studio. SNL starts up soon.
Allegedly.
And Caroline's on Broadway September 24th through the 26th.
Yes, please come.
Pete's a very stand-up comic, too. Very, did I say very stand-up comic?
Very stand-up.
Very funny
I'm a very
stand-up
stand-up guy.
Nice. You're a stand-up guy.
Wow.
I'm a very stand-up guy.
Yeah, Pete's
I wonder
a
if you're
stand-up
funny.
guy.
Are
He
you
shows
funny,
up on
too?
time. He does his time. He drops his tissue.
Yeah.
Drop the goddamn tissue, Pete.
Fuck.
Pick it up.
Are you funny in between being a stand-up guy, or?
Sometimes.
right.
I like to
Okay,
think
good.
so.
Yeah, I went to the School of Hard Knocks. He's a knock-around guy.
Yeah.
Stand-up guy. Stands tall.
Yes.
Yeah, Pete's a very funny dude.
Jimmy's doing
thank you.
Caroline's the week before.
Yeah, so
Right.
come see both of us. You're in New York. What else are you going to do? See the Empire State Building? You go upstairs? Oh, that is fun. I went and did it recently.
know,
Yeah.
we talked about it.
was
I've never done
awesome.
it. Is it really
Do
awesome?
It's absolutely worth it.
I could be your father for a day, and we could go
Yeah.
together.
I would love to do that. Could we have a Daddy Sunday?
Yes, we could do that.
Hold hands.
We'll go to a fucking AC/DC concert.
I could do that
This
for
is
you.
what it was like.
I could do that for you.
This is what music sounds like.
Kid. How old are you?
21.
Oh, you can easily
I
be
could
his father.
easily be your father.
We could have a catch. I've never had a catch with a grown man.
Oh my God, Pete, you're so.
It's making me hard. Really? Can we go, please?
That's right. He could catch his cum in your mouth. Oh, sorry.
Will you show me how to shave?
Why did I say that?
This is called a brawn, Pete.
Oh my God.
Teach me how to shave and drive.
Do some dad things.
Yeah, do some dad stuff.
Yeah.
You can be my dad too, Jim.
Nah, I'm not. Opie's at least a dad.
Yeah, you're more of an uncle.
Yeah, I'm more of the creepy, like, I'll give you a razzin.
Yeah.
Hey, how's that girl?
A razzing.
I'm making time, are you?
What else we're learning? The documentary show tonight. I'm coming back to do more radio with the Stangles from 7 to 9. I like doing that documentary show. It's fun. It's very different than this show.
You do look like Little Nicky.
And
I don't look like Little Nicky.
Oh,
I'm not even
you do listen.
But I don't have the hair down.
I like not so Little Nicky myself.
Yeah,
I love that movie. Is
I got
great.
that a lot.
Is it great?
Little Nicky is a classic. Always makes me laugh. It's just so ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
If you watch it, it's pretty ridiculous.
Were you high at the time?
No, I was 8. I think that might have been why.
You do have the same haircut, though.
I don't have a haircut though. It's just my
I
hair.
used to book Letterman, but now I'm on Opie and Jimmy.
That's
what he sounds like.
Do we promote everything before this break? I think so.
Things are going well. If you reference them next to the Challenger. That was a terrible little Nicky impression.
That's what he sounds like.
Yeah, things are going really good.
We're brothers, but clearly one's fatter. There's clearly a better brother to be picked from.
9 minutes, by the way. What? 9 fucking minutes.
What?
My Laughing Derby tickets have been on sale for 9 minutes in Kentucky.
Come to the Laughing Derby.
Yes. December 10th or 12th. I don't do it. I've never seen Little Nicky, so I'm doing an impression of Pete Davidson doing it. Going Nicky.
If you put your mouth like that, you got to. There you go.
That's all it really is. It's just a little bit like this.
It's pretty fun to do.
It's pretty fun to do. We all just talk like this until the end.
I don't look like Little Nicky.
Yes, you do.
Could you promote your advice show as Little Nicky? Because I always forget to do that for you, Jim Norton.
That's today at 3. It's
Right.
my whole promotion.
So if you haven't checked out Jimmy's advice show, that's another good thing this channel brings you. So
I bring help. I bring
a little help.
Help.
Bring
people's
insight
lives.
to the world.
You
do the whole show like that?
I'd love to. Jim,
Welcome to the Jim Norton Hour.
I'm drinking too much. What should I do? Don't drink as much.
We got the dolphin story still. We got to do that at least. And the guy with the 11-pound shit, maybe we'll do that as well. All right?
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
E-Rock just really scared the shit out of me.
What happened?
I have 3 specials on Netflix right now. And this most recent one is getting people are being very, very positive about this.
It was a great one, Jimmy.
Thank you. Contextually
Really inadequate.
Yeah, people have been very nice, and people who I wouldn't have expected to enjoy it, I'm getting just, whatever, communications from.
Me and my girlfriend loved it, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Pete. But it's one of those things where, and then E-Rock just goes, yeah, your specials are on, here it comes.
God bless you, Jimmy.
And that was what he said. And I'm like, why would you sneeze on me? No, it was, and he goes, hey, your specials are through Epics, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, they're coming off Netflix at the end of September. And I'm like, why? He goes, yeah, they're being taken down because there's a deal with Hulu going on. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's happening. Because Netflix is a great place for your specials. Right. Not that Hulu's not good, but it's not Netflix.
Your manager, Johnny Brammuffin, says it doesn't affect
I know,
your
I'm
deal.
getting to that. I'm not there yet because he doesn't know for 100%. Okay. Jonathan I'm communicating with Jonathan. That's what I was getting to, is that I asked E-Rock why, and he goes, well, they're going to Hulu. It's a big deal. And so I text Jonathan, and I say, I'm annoyed at him. My specials are coming off Netflix because of this stupid deal. And why am I hearing this from E-Rock and not anyone on my management team?
Sure.
And John says, no, not at all. That's only their future projects. And I'm like, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, your specials aren't affected by this. So I don't know who's right and who's wrong.
I don't know if it's only future projects, because I know that Hunger Games and Transformers and stuff are coming off of Netflix.
It says it right here.
And they're going to Hulu. Like, Epic's programming is leaving Netflix and going to Hulu.
Yep. That's what that's what the article says.
It's not like all old Epic stuff is staying on Netflix.
It's not grandfathered in.
Right.
No.
The Epic's deal has expired, or is expiring. They enjoyed a 5-year partnership, and their new deal is with Hulu, so they're pulling their movies, and they will be available on the other platform.
Okay, so E-Rock may be right.
He might be.
And my manager may not know what he's talking about.
Well, yeah, if your deal is Epic's is, giving Netflix your content, then they're not going to have that deal at the end of the month.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't saying it to scare you. I was asking you, was this part of the deal? Because they stated that everything that Epic's is tied to Netflix is gone at the end of the month.
Actually, you know what? There was a list. Let me try to find it of all the things that are coming off Netflix.
It might just be movie. I don't know what the exact deal was. Whatever. It's not whatever. It's just there's other ways to see it.
Right.
But I'm just frustrated.
You want
doing well on Netflix.
You want Netflix.
I want Netflix.
You want Netflix
more than any place.
76 movies and TV shows leaving Netflix in September.
76.
Yes.
Movies and TV shows.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't even know that was that much on Netflix. Oh, that was like 40 things.
40 things in total?
Yeah. They should put Little Nicky on there.
All right, well.
Wait, what's the title again? It's
Contextually
inadequate.
That's fucked up.
And please be offended, an American degenerate. But contextually inadequate is the one I care most about.
Right.
Because it's the most recent.
Hulu's good, though.
They are, but they're not Netflix.
Yeah.
Everyone's not watching.
They're getting there, though.
Hulu has a lot of... That fucking...
New kid on the block.
They do quite well.
They're doing all right.
They paid a lot of money for Seinfeld.
Why are you talking like
all
right, though?
The Mindy Project, too.
What's that?
They bought the Mindy Project.
Yeah, they did.
From Fox.
Yeah.
But I don't know
That's big, too.
if Hulu's international, though. Because at least with Netflix, it's separated by regions, and his specials carried in different regions.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hulu, I don't know if you can only just get it in the United States.
I don't see you on the list.
Of what?
Of what's coming off. There's a list by date of what's coming off and when, and you're not on that list.
That's a scheduled list, though.
Right, but a bunch of these are
Agent Cody Banks 2. Ah, fuck!
You got a month, Pete. Don't worry.
I'm going to call this promising for Jim Norton.
This
looks
No,
promising.
either that or I'm so irrelevant I'm not on the list. This is
no.
Oh, we forgot we had this.
I think it's promising.
Yeah, you're right, E-Rock.
Oh, wait a minute.
If E-Rock is right, if I heard this from E-Rock and he's right, and my manager didn't know this,
I tend to think Eric is right because when I saw that story a couple days ago, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
All Epic's programming is leaving Netflix and going to Hulu.
Because
September
it's not
1st.
just one place that's reporting it. It's all legitimate.
No, but it
media
might only
that-
be with certain films. It might not be with all films.
No, it's Epic's programming.
Yeah.
Well, then why are they listing them by date? Like
The list that Justin is looking at is a list that comes out every month. Here's what's leaving Netflix. That list might not be updated with all this Epic stuff because this is stuff
they
that's
do
scheduled
rotate
to come
programming
off.
on
Yeah.
Netflix as well. But this is a different situation. They're not renewing the deal at all. So it's not like they're taking a certain amount of Epic's programming off and putting other programming in starting in October. They're cutting all ties with the Epic's network, and your specials are brokered through Epic. So that's why it could affect you.
Okay, well, I'm just getting a nice text.
Oh boy.
I am very alarmed if E-Rock knows more about this than anyone working for me.
Oh, poor E-Rock.
I mean, that's just
I
unacceptable.
hope they keep your specials on there.
Me too. I love being
But,
on Netflix.
I was just bringing it up so that you were aware that maybe you have to renegotiate or
Now, why do
something.
they have that stupid fucking promo I did?
It looks like you have a big penis, Jimmy.
I know. That's why I actually tried to get them to make the microphone smaller. I said the microphone should be tiny.
It looks like you have a giant hog.
Yeah, the microphone
and a black one.
Should look like a lapel mic.
With a big mushroom
You know what?
head.
Eric's right. The microphone should be smaller, but that was such a last minute thing.
Looks like someone's going to be working for the Jim Norton organization.
You know what? Someone should be working for the Jim Norton organization because he seems to know more than people who are signing the contracts know.
He knows you shouldn't have a giant microphone that looks like a giant black penis with
That
a
was
big,
my
huge,
call creatively, though. I should have.
mushroom head.
Yeah.
We're just fucking around.
Creatively, we went with a big cock.
It's a great picture.
It should have been
really
a
is
smaller
a great
mic. Though.
picture.
But a mic, I thought of it after. I'm like, a small mic would have been so much funnier. But I just didn't think of it in the...
All right, we're going to figure that out. The dolphin thing is just completely ridiculous the more I read about this. You got some very spiritual people, and they want a dolphin-assisted water birth in the ocean, and experts are like, you're crazy. Dolphins out of nowhere will just kill other mammals, and they don't know why. They're very playful and nice, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what, fuck this, and they kill things.
Are you
They're
going to be
very
in like
aggressive.
a tube? Are you going to be in like a tube?
No. The couple says prior to the birth, this Rosin broad took part in a 38-week blessing, which she swims in the water alongside dolphins. They say the choice of birth environment is a more relaxing and natural way, despite warnings. And then you got an expert going, this has to be, hands down, one of the worst natural birthing ideas anyone has ever had.
Just making it about herself and being different.
When she was 12, she was on a boat and just saw like dolphins. She was like, one day.
Well, for us older people,
people, it would be Flipper, the TV show.
It's fucking weird.
Flipper.
It's just stupid and
fucking
narcissistic.
get that thing out of your pussy.
You're
and
not
move
one
on.
with nature,
Look how
dumbbell.
hot she is, though.
All right, I forgive
And
her.
she's all body painted up. She's got a bikini, and she's very pregnant, and she's got body paint on. The
Hope she winds up like Robert Shaw in Jaws.
The scientist
Sorry.
The scientist notes that dolphins have been known to, like I said, toss, beat, and kill other mammals for no apparent reason despite enjoyment. Is this an animal you want to have at your side when you're completely vulnerable? The lady, though, the pregnant woman, disagrees and views the animals as kind and healing creatures.
Yeah.
In 2011 and 2014, I had the privilege to learn from and with wild and free dolphins and humpback whales in Hawaii, who transformed and healed me in a very profound way.
Aren't you the fucking girl of the year? I had the opportunity to swim with dolphins.
Oh, dolphins in Hawaii.
What about marijuana made damage sperm quality? What's this?
Yeah, that's something you
story?
should worry about being the younger guy there.
Yeah.
Pete.
Yeah.
You got plenty though. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I think if I ever try to have a kid, I would stop for a while. Because because a couple of my buddies have kids then they've just been smoking pot forever, and I think you could kind of tell in the kid a little bit.
No, really?
I think a little bit.
Little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. I think a little slower.
How much pot do you smoke? Every day?
Every day, usually to go to sleep. And for my Crohn's a little bit, it helps me eat. But definitely going to try and start slowing down. I think you think you grow out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
It used to be like a lot of fun, and now it's just kind of like
it's just a thing.
Yeah, it's just like a thing you could do.
Right. You got to keep that mind sharp for SNL there, Pete.
Got to keep that sperm, that sack clean.
We're expecting big things from you this season.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, guys.
Oh, you get.
All right. You know what? Why don't we go home? The mirror thing is, I read into that. It's just stupid. Got a bunch of, female students covering up mirrors so other girls feel good about their bodies.
Because they're all fat.
Yeah, exactly. They're just looking for some kind of like attention. In their
By the way, why cover up the mirror so you don't have to look at the abomination that you are? Why not make the mirrors larger and then just teach you to respect yourself and have self-esteem looking how you look?
But
why not look at yourself and then have a little positive message?
Love yourself, no
Love
matter
what.
what.
You see.
Yeah, but we all see shitty things when we look in the mirror, and then you maybe try to do something about it. But you can.
I don't know.
I think mirrors are very helpful.
I'm very happy that I didn't go to high school during now. I'm glad that I was part of the last generation that was still.
We had none of this shit when we went.
It's insane.
None of it.
It's insane. You know how many sportsmanship awards I have?
Oh, you're one of those kids.
Yeah, one of those kids where it's just like,
I was getting in an argument with a few people on Twitter, but most people are against this whole participation trophy thing.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. It makes you feel like an idiot.
It does, right?
I remember when I was 10 and I was on the football team, and like I did not play, and I was awful, and I was just happy to be on the side. And then they made a whole big stink, and I got this whole big nice sportsmanship award about how I always listened and never. And it was just fucking embarrassing. It was fucking really embarrassing, And just so my mom could.
And the rest of the kids coming up with you, did they feel the same way?
Yeah, everybody knew what the sport. Everybody kind of felt bad that you were getting it. I mean,
well, one guy goes, "What's wrong with making a kid feel good?"
It doesn't. It doesn't make the parents feel good.
Yeah.
It makes the parents feel good.
And I'm like, I'm all for that actually, but I think there's other ways to do it. I think I tweeted something like, you could bring that same kid for an ice cream cone, and you would get the same reaction. He'd be very happy, like, "Hey man, it was a nice, a nice season. Your team did okay, and why don't we celebrate and get some ice cream or something?" I think he would be just as happy with that instead of the awkward moment walking up in front of everyone and getting the tiniest of trophies.
Yeah, and then fucking having a memory of how shitty I was at football when I was little. Like, just having a trophy stare at me that didn't say, like, I played or anything.
That's the parent. If the parents don't know how to say, hey, my son's not good at football.
He got a trophy.
How about this? The awkward lump that fell out of your box is not a good tight end.
Yeah.
Live with it.
I cried like a little bitch on the way home from basketball games with my dad when we lost and stuff. And we had a good fucking solid conversation about it. And then worked on different things for the next basketball season, all that shit.
Damn,
I would have hated getting a participation trophy.
So it's mortifying. It really is embarrassing.
And then my dad did make me feel good, like, let's go get ice cream, or let's go to Friendly's. I think it was Friendly's back then.
Friendly's is always good.
Let's go get what was it? A Fribble. Let's go get a Fribble at Friendly's. I remember that, and that sort of took the hurt away a little bit.
Yep. It's my nickname for my prick.
Fribble?
Fribble? Your Fribble? Does a little dribble come out of the Fribble?
It certainly does. Why don't you pop my Fribble into your yapper?
I love to do the whole show like this.
Yeah, why don't you get my Fribble down into your gullet? Why don't you milk my Fribble into your gullet?
Wow, that's real sexy.
They love it when you talk like that.
Jim's new special on Netflix.
Right.
Fribble milking.
Fribble milking.
With an N with an apostrophe. Fribble milking. Sounds good-natured and down home.
Yeah.
Money from home. A good strong back, Joe Buck. Money from home. Remember in Midnight Cowboy when he goes into that fucking thing and he sees that old crazy guy like, money from home, sir. Money from home, Joe Buck. Fucking crazy preacher loved Joe Buck.
Gotta watch Midnight Cowboy.
I gotta watch Midnight Cowboy.
Have you seen it?
I gotta watch that
Cowboy.
and all the Godfathers.
Yeah, first two you have to watch.
First two? Not the third one?
No, the third one was a rumor.
Were you wearing a Soprano shirt?
Yes, I was.
I noticed.
On the carpet? Yes.
I kind of laughed because I'm like, man, he just finished The Sopranos. He told us on our radio show.
I saw it in the store, and I literally was like, ooh, I have to get that.
Good for you.
I got very excited for the shirt.
That's cool at an award show. It's funny.
Yeah.
I don't feel so bad now wearing my Mary Tyler Moore vest to the Oscars.
No, I dress like shit. I think it's funny.
We don't have time for that video, I don't think. Is it quick enough?
You do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like the right thing.
Heroic dad rescues kids from fire, saves his barbecue. Let's just do
Oh,
it.
give me the story I never had.
Yeah, come on. Let's do this.
Dad
This is
comes
Robert
home.
Wright.
All right, this guy is being interviewed. What's the backstory? He saved some kids from a fire?
Yes.
And he also saved his barbecue?
In Fresno.
In Fresno?
Oh, man, this is Robert Wright. ROBERT WRIGHT. Tell me what happened wrong. Oh, man, it all went down, man. I stayed right next door, man, from the thing that happened, man, the barbecue, man. I was barbecuing, man. I seen some fire just come out the window, man. The window
He's
busted
holding up
out,
his
man.
barbecue.
Only thing I think first, man, make sure them ribs is right. And I ran in and got my family, man. Brung everybody out safely, man. I carry everybody out myself, man. You know what I mean? And keep this PG, everybody myself, man. I did that. Feel me? You got kids and older people out, or just kids? Yeah, I got my kids first. First day I got my kids, and I thought about my ribs. Like, I ain't gonna let my ribs burn and stuff, because I take pride in what I do, man. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was hungry, man. I was like, man, put them ribs on there, man. Some hot links and stuff, man. We got it going and stuff. But I looked over, man. The fire was bursting out, man. I was like, man, this is crazy, man. Real crazy, man. Let me get my kids up out the situation, man. That's all I know. You feel me? And I'm from the Bay Area, man. You know I'm located in the Bay Area. You feel me? Out here now, but yeah, I'm from the Bay, man. They call me West Oakland, man. You know, but I'm gonna keep things going, man. Keep going, you know. But it was frantic, man. It was real serious out there, man. It was real serious, man. But
I
yeah,
love
man.
this guy.
Enjoy this barbecue, though, man. Have a good night, man. Hopefully they put us in a motel, man. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to come out the pocket. They owe me for that one. You feel me?
Him and Kanye have the same writer.
Exactly. Actually, I got more out of this guy's speech.
Yeah.
At least he did something.
Why do they owe him? Do we know why they owe him? A motel room?
Maybe he's
Because of that fucking interview. Are you kidding me?
Go back a little bit.
I would put him in a motel forever.
Go back a little. I want to know why they owe him. Because we laughed really hard there.
Enjoy this barbecue, though, man. Have a good night, man. Hopefully they put us in a motel, man. You know what I mean? Because I ain't trying to come out the pockets. They owe me for that one. You feel me? You get that?
Who owes you?
Did I get any injuries? Yeah, you get. Oh, no, I ain't get no injuries and stuff except for all the smoke in my lungs and stuff. I already had smoke in my lungs, so I'm all right.
I didn't get any injuries except for the most dangerous thing that can happen. I didn't get no injuries except for the flames and fire on my head and neck and face.
Except for the one thing that kills people that are in a fire. Pete Davidson, this was a pleasure, sir.
Oh, thanks.
Come back and see us one more time before that starts up.
I would love to.
Because you're going to be fucking busy.
Would love to.
All right, Pete Davidson is going to be at Caroline's on Broadway September 24th through the 26th. I now know that that's the week right after Jim Norton, who's also going to be at Caroline's.
So you
that's
can do
pretty
both.
damn cool.
Yeah, you can just go and have laughs, and then by the time you've healed from your laughter, you're going to go back and laugh again the following week.
Oh, very nice.
That's the way you sell comedy shows, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Louisville, Kentucky just went on sale. It's called the Laughing Derby. December 10, 11, and 12. It's in the Mid-City Mall in Louisville, Kentucky.
Nice.
Who needs specials on Netflix? when you have the Laughing Derby.
Nice. And
Mid-City Mall.
I keep imagining you coming out on stage in roller skates for some reason because of the Derby.
You know, I should literally skate out onto the stage, but not stop. Just keep going until I'm out the back door and onto the highway and I'm killed.
Oh my God, I'm laughing.
I'm laughing because I'm picturing it in one continuous shot.
Exactly,
Yeah.
one shot.
Yeah.
Right out the door. The waiter opens the door and I'm right out.
We're both doing more radio today. Jim Norton's Advice Show at 3 o'clock today on this channel. Yep. And then tonight at 7, I'm doing my show on documentaries with Eric and Justin Stengel. So please tune in at 7 o'clock for that as well. And we'll see you guys here tomorrow. I think that's it.
That's it, man.
That's it, right? All right. All right, bye.